What do you mean they're not paying me for this? Oh my god. I can't believe I signed up for this. Oh, wait, we're live. Hey, what's going on, chat? Speed Gaming 5, SMZ3 weekly normal mode. One guy named Farflu, the other guy named MM2 he him in brackets. How's it going, guys? Don't all answer at once. It's okay. Yeah, normal mode SMZ3 weekly. Can't wait to commentate a hot match here. Really good runners. I'm secretly taking Farflu in the over-under. Don't tell MM2 though. I hope he's not listening to the pre-race. Chat, this is embarrassing. I was like, why is there an echo? And I actually had my Chrome window up as well for this. Just figured you guys should know. Because I have nothing else to talk about right now. Race is starting soon, guys. Don't worry. Just a couple more hot minutes. I don't want to give a bad morph position. No. The best one is PB's in jail by far. Like, people might say that's bad, but it's actually the funniest spot it can ever be. And I'll defend that until I stop playing this game. All right, looks like we're about to start. 15 seconds away. And we're going to be getting going here. All right, here we go. In the blue trunks, MM2. Going for the little bit of the Iceman, I guess. I don't know. And then Farflu in the traditional trunks, like it. I personally don't run with like a custom sprite in SM. I kind of do for memes. I don't know. I've run the what's his name? That diabetes guy. What's this guy's name again? God, Captain Novolin. That's the one. Run him for a couple times. I see a fat fairy crystal in desert. All crystals light world. And Farflu is now a turtle. So a bit of a swing here. We got the custom spread on MM2 side and Farflu for Link to the Past. Link to the Past being the lengthier game. I'm going to give the first W to Farflu. Just because he's going to have longer sprite time. So for customization's sake, he's going to get the win. Again, I'm just feeling more confident on taking the over-under on Farflu here. Nothing's too substantial in Sanctuary, just that piece of heart. Pretty boring start. Farflu going to go ahead and elect to Scout? Question mark? The Graveyard, he's going to get the Tier 1, Tier 3 here. Sorry, just the Tier 3. Getting the full magic. He's going to rough up this crab for some bombs, which is great. Probably the favorite prize pack of the crab is bombs, especially for the start. It's generally like 95% time. Only time you're going to be using it. MM2 not checking the crab here. That's a bit of a Mando yikes, if you will. I'm going to steal this phrase. There's nothing you can do about it. Oh, okay, he's going to go north on the crab. I don't think I've ever seen someone... Maybe I have, and just ignored it. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and north here. Farflu going to do that as well, just to kind of top up on bombs here. So he's going to have a couple bomb advantage here on M&T, but that's not a big deal. When M&T goes down to South Shore, he's going to be able to pull another crab up and get some bombs. We see a mirror in the Thieves' Hideout. Love early mirror. It's one of my favorite items to get early. Of course, other than, you know, like morph boots and flute, the fast items. I'll take that mirror though. And we see single green rupee. So we got green rupee tier 1, blue rupee tier 2, and full magic tier 3. None of that is going to be relevant past this stage here because none of it is rupees. So you probably won't see another tier pull unless perhaps maybe if they're low on magic at like TR or something like that, but I doubt it. And nothing so far in... Oh, never mind. That's something. Early speed booster. Pog. Love early speed booster. That's another really good item, actually. So speed booster will allow them to do a bunch of stuff within logic in Super Metroid that normally, if they didn't have early speed booster, they can get around in Brinstar, but they're going to be able to kind of utilize that in a couple of cool spots. And also, it's going to give them morphless access to Brinstar as well. So that's kind of something that we need to pay attention to and look out for. But then, like, a morph ball can just, like, pop in well, and then we won't have to think about it anymore, which is awesome. Right? No, it's just going to give me a bow instead. All right, so I guess Eastern's on the table now. Not logically without that lamp, but you know what? Early bow. Nice. So MM2 here actually going to redip the well just to farm up to 100 rupees. So he's going to have bottle vendor access. I don't think Farfaloo had that. So he's running at 73 right now. Let's see what the bottle vendor is. It's just a rebate. So Farfaloo's going to dodge a bullet. Probably hoping to get some money within these next few checks. And then might commit to a farm. I know a lot of players like to be safe with this check, but I also know probably the minority will skip it or kind of play at risk. It's pretty dangerous in SMZ3 to kind of skip that because, you know, it could be morph and you don't have morph yet. So that's like the key thing that'd be on my mind is like, do I really want to, with that early speed, you know, play without bottle vendor knowing that I don't have morph yet? I don't know. It's pretty risky, but it's going to pay off here. SMM2 is kind of cleaning up the tavern here. Farfaloo a little bit ahead, getting us a quick scout on library. Going to be checking out Ray's game quite soon. Going to blind check this, actually. This is another thing I hate. I don't like blind checks. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I just don't like the time. I get it. It's like, it's faster if you win on it. And there's a lot of cool things. It could be like supers, for example. You just take them because you're already here. And MM2 can do it as well. Okay. Okay, guys. Calm down. Yeah, it's dismissal. See you later. That's why you don't blind check, guys. It's just relativity, right? Like, it's like, do I spend the time scouting and then having to come back to get an item if it's there, or do I just like waste the resource and time to check race for race game and see if it's something? I almost said dig game. I don't know why. Farfaloo going to go ahead to South Shore. MM2 probably going to follow suit. I don't see a lot of it. Oh, wait. Oh. Never mind. I forgot early bow. So MM2 might be thinking Eastern right away. It is all crystals. So I do like the play. But also, you know, crab bombs. So South Shore's pretty free right now, too. The way I would look at it, personally, is that while I would like that early Eastern play with the bow, and I don't really think about it too much, and I'll just kind of go in and dive in. If you just put it off for a little bit longer and do the South Shore cleanup, there's like chances you can run into a sword or a lamp or boots, something that will make like Eastern faster. So I just generally think that this is probably the better play, just to kind of go South Shore, just to kind of clean it up. You're going to be doing this anyways, most likely. As we see nothing really at Stash Cave other than ammo. The mini Moldorm's giving Farfaloo some problems. This is historically been a Molder problem, not a player problem, just because of the amount of RNG there in those turns. And as Farflu flexes, gets a hook shot and a flute. Okay, and then MM2 is going to go to Eastern here. So that's bad for MM2 start. Just because now Farflu is immediately going to, yes, he's going to immediately S&Q here, going to cash in that flute. Main reason is he can kind of flute to Ice Rock Cave now and save a little bit of time versus walking. And then now he also has the option to kind of go to EDM and just put off Ice Rock Cave if he so chooses. Just a map in the first chest of Eastern. It's nothing quite exciting yet. Guys, I really hate that cannonball room. I don't know about you guys. Just a viewer or a player, casual or whatever. Just one of the underrated worst rooms in the game. I always try to like... Oh wait, the flute's playing. Sorry. I'll be quiet. Actually, no, I'm commentating. I'm not going to be quiet. Sorry, guys. I'm going to ruin the moment. And Farflu getting that, yeah, punches the air. He's like, man, my routing's good. I'm Michelangelo, damn it. That's what he's saying right now. It's going to go ahead and skip Ice Rock Cave for now. Again, it's fine. Like, he can do it whenever, right? But... you know, cleanup time is going to be coming. Of course, with East Up Mountain, probably the correct play here. Just kind of flute up. But it was good kind of cleanup. It was fortunate that I was able to hit that flute so early. So he's able to go back to Bottle Bender too. So that was kind of nice. Nothing in Eastern so far. Eastern kind of sucks. Not going to lie. Let's see what's in this big chest. Just a heart container. Nothing yet. Farflu's going to have the Uncle in about 5 seconds. Just an okay start, honestly. The flute and hookshot's pretty nice to have early. And of course, like the speed and bow. So there's like really nice items here. I guess I'm just kind of like, I'm spoiled by playing so many races, right? Like I've had so many really good starts with like boots, like immediately, sword immediately, morph immediately. Like you just kind of have to weigh it against those. So that's why when I see like item sets like this, I'm like, it's pretty good, but you know, it could be better. Farflu punching the Tektites there, trying to get them to jump. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. He has to wait them out. But is able to kind of get through there with 1 heart left. He's going to have a quick refill here, so he'll be fine. And 2 sees missiles. I think that's the second item. We see a fire rod and more money on Farflu's side. In the lower or the upper end of Paradox. That's so weird to say. I always say it's the lower 2 chests, but it's actually the upper. It's the game's stupid, guys. It's fine. It doesn't always make sense. Okay, so Michelangelo is now Donatello? Or is he Leonardo? Okay, we see the morph already too, and a nice rod. So he has both rods in morph. So speed morph. You'd be thinking SM, but there's one key consideration left, and I'm pretty sure this is why Farflu hasn't S&Q'd yet, is he doesn't have any power bombs yet. So that's a pretty big deal. And MM2 actually doesn't either in Eastern. So the reason why power bombs are so important is it just unlocks a lot of checks, especially in the early on without morph bombs. You do have speed that can get through some areas. Like, again, we can get into Brinstar with it, but you're basically kind of gimping yourself if you go early because you won't be able to do all the checks. So that's like the last key thing they both players are going to want to find basically before they head into SM. And I would probably say it'd be quite risky if they went in now. All right, MM2 setting up for his Armos fight. Pretty run-of-the-mill action here. But yeah, first crystal for MM2. Farflu is going to follow suit. Free crystal. Doesn't have any power bombs. Again, not a lot of options for him other than potentially escape. At this point, Farflu's or MM2 is gonna go South Shore. It'd be pretty risky if you want Escape. I don't expect him to go Escape, but Uncle hasn't been done yet, so you never know. But with Farflu, you know, he has so many good items in tow already. It's basically just like, you know, I'm just gonna gravitate towards the crystal. Kind of commonplace for SMZ3, honestly. Is, a lot of runners will kind of elect to shy away from Escape. I personally like it. I don't know. I always think that, like, with the meta of always doing Escape, or putting it off, sorry, by a lot of runners, kind of entices me to check it more. Because if I hit, like, really good items early that are beneficial to me early, then it's, like, an immediate advantage. But, I would say there's a reason that most people skip it, because it's quite a bit of time and generally does not pay out. So I get it. I can understand why they're kind of have some adversity to it. So MM2 actually passing on the crab. The crab was like, "Hey, I got some bombs. Would you like some bombs, sir?" And MM2 says, "No, no, thank you." Okay. So now he's going to go in with some bombs. Has 11 arrows here for the Moldorms as well, but the arrows are only really good for the middle Moldorm. It's going to be pretty challenging with the other ones, but it's cleaning up pretty good. Okay, I'm pretty sure, guys, and by guys I mean chat, it's Donatello on Farflu's side. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's definitely Donatello. Okay, I don't understand why. Like, it's a blue tunic. You'd think Leonardo. I don't know. Wait, maybe it is Leonardo. It's just like a really deep blue. I get it. His headband eye mask thing. I don't even know what you would call that. His mask, I guess. It's not really a mask, but it's kind of like a really like royal blue kind of thing. So it's got the hue of purple in there. That's why it's like confusing my brain. I don't know, guys. All right, MM2 gonna check Ice Rock Cave here. Let's see if it's if this is Power Bombs, this is gonna be pretty funny, honestly. Okay, it's just the bloomerang. Another cool thing they could do with that early flute too is you know, I see some players do. I don't see everyone, but they could have checked Agina with that early flute. It's a pretty good scout early on desert, and it gets them pretty quick travel to Agina. It's almost net to what the time cost would be for checking Ice Frog Cave. So it's pretty common play, I would say, but both players kind of not choosing to do it. It's just so nice that you know, all the runners in this race are going to get an early salute in for Apathy.07, who is racing today. It's just so nice for the runners to kind of pay their early tributes. That's actually his name, by the way, is Apathy.07. I don't know if he's changed it. Let me check. Nope, it's still Apathy.07. Okay. It's Apathy Duck in race time, but Apathy.07 in Twitch. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's sick. All right, so there's our first Powerbomb pack that we've seen, guys. Desert Ledge is not accessible right now. So unless our runners spike glove to glove, like within this check here, or through escape, or they find a bug for that first Powerbomb there. Otherwise, they're probably going to SM here, Powerbombless, which is really gross, but does happen from time to time. It's just not ideal. So that's why you're seeing like our runners kind of sticking with Link to the Past here. Probably having some problems with this room, surprisingly, actually. I would say play more cross keys an archery game. This is mandatory here. Okay, I've seen this setup before, but I'm just not used to it. Oh. Oh. All right, there we go. Yeah, I've seen that, like, it's kind of like a mirrored backwards setup to Armos. It's a little slower, but you know what? Runner's comfort levels. I understand they're not going to have all the bosses kind of grinded down, especially in a game like this. And I would say or suggest that Farflu's SM is significantly crisper. It is Link to the Past, so you know it's easy for me to take pot shots here, but you know when he gets to SM, he's just going to be like, yeah, well, Solsky, I don't see you playing like this, right? So, all right, so MM2 is going to clean up East Death Mountain here. And then Farflu is going to go ahead and check out Uncle. Maybe cuts it off there, but also has escape available. One interesting thing that I haven't seen yet, ooh, we haven't seen this either, is, you know, potential Hera, early Hera dev. I was kind of like, I don't think we've seen Spec Rock either. I don't think MM2's checked that, or Farflu's checked that, which is kind of weird. But MM2, Morpholus is going to check this. That's a feels bad. He'll run into his morph in like a second. But is doing the pre-scout here. CZ, tank at Croc escape. So knows it's not going to be anything worthy to route early, so it's not going to have to worry about it. So I gotta ask, like, do we call out that MM2 is Big Blue, or like what's his nickname gonna be with that blue suit? It's just dumb. I actually missed what was that Uncle too. Oops. I assume nothing, but especially since Farflu is going in. Like if it was a Powerbomb pack, I would have assumed Farflu would just S&Q here. So can't be too good. Oh, there were PBs at Uncle. Okay. Maybe he wants more. Maybe he wants more. Okay, so MM2 gets his Morph Ball. As we see Farflu cleaning up escape. With the Ice Rod, actually. Chat, this is gonna be really embarrassing. I actually didn't know that Ice Rod killed the Blue Knights. So today I learned. He's gonna go for the swag strat here, though. He's gonna pick up the ice, the iced up knight. This strat I did know of, and just basically berate that poor knight. Is gonna just leave here. Not gonna do Dark Cross or continue. So Dark Cross could have had a key or an item to kind of continue on, but gonna go ahead and check Agina. Sees the other Powerbomb pack as well, and we'll be collecting a Z tank here. At Agina. MMT missing the duck. That's just unfortunate. All right, MMT gonna go ahead to Uncle as well, and then we'll see if he likes to do escape or not. I see an S&Q from Farflu. It is Agina, so it makes sense. We see the reset, so yeah, now's the time to go to SM. So a couple options here with SM. You have 3 routes basically you can do with low E-tank or low power bombs. You could tough it out and go either South Retro first, go back up, and then go to Bryn. You can go Bryn and do a loop, but can't really do Retro on 5 power bombs with that. You could go to down Red Tower. And the last one you could do is go to Wreck Ship early. And I kind of... Oh no. Powerbomb was a little too tight away from that that door. Morpho's at East Death Mountain. East Death Mountain. And MM2 is pausing to collect his thoughts. There we go. As the stream catches up. Is going into escape here. Farflu gonna elect to go. Okay. So I guess he did get Spring Ball because he's morphing here. Oh, never mind. Odd. Well, I guess not really an odd check. He could reset from here easily. I would probably reset here if it's nothing. I don't know if I like that check so early. I don't know. Well, I guess I like it if, like, top raise ship. So ship Peebs is nothing, and then I check this, and then if it's nothing, I can just reset and go direct ship. Or I can go Gauntlet, because I can just shine across and break the blocks that way and save power bombs. But I guess I don't have enough power bombs to get through, actually, if I do that. And I don't have enough E-tanks to do the long spark, so... looks like just gonna go for some minor cleanup here. Found nothing still. I don't know. I think retro first, which is fine. But yeah, I would probably press towards right ship here on like 5 power bombs. Granted, it is like low E tank, but you do have speed. Yeah, actually gonna go Bryn. Okay. Oh, look at... Just go to where the power bombs are. It's fine. God. The bailout is real. This is like the kind of seed I would play, and I would just play around Bryn for 9 years. Like, I'd go down Red Tower, I'd go wreck ship, and then after like 20 minutes of meandering around the seed, I would get power bombs, and I'd feel like a routing god. And then I would see that power bomb at Terminator and just like want to stop playing this game, because that's how SMZ. Yeah, so that's a good question in chat. So in the more retro Metroids, being SM, pretty much, Shine Sparks cost energy. Whereas I think the ones afterwards did not. I don't know about Zero Mission. I know Fusion doesn't. Dread doesn't. I'm pretty sure Zero Mission does not as well. If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I played that one. Alright, so yeah, with the the amped up, I would call it minimum required power bombs for Brinstar of 10 max. Farflu is gonna have a good time here. Gonna be able to full clear Bryn, and is gonna have a better time now that they just found Varia. Got a little bit of money on the floor as well on his way out. That's like the score, right? Like you just you know, you go in, there's like this new TV, you want it, right? And you get it on sale, and you're like, sweet. And as you're like leaving, $50 is just on the ground. No big deal. Having a good day. It's okay. MM2 following suit, gonna find his bailout power bombs as well, because that's literally what they are, is bailout power bombs. I'm kind of surprised neither of them didn't go Rick ship, but not really. The meta heavily tilts towards like not doing wreck ship as much as possible, so in SMZ3. So not really surprised. It's kind of like that in regular SM rando anyways, right? Like it's generally considered the riskier play to go wreck ship versus like say Red Tower down to Norfair or Bryn, right? It's a lot more density, regardless of what mode you play, because you'd still have more item checks, even if it was like major, minor, or full. So Farflu playing a little bit conservative here, which is good, but I think it's more to conserve energy for Sparks coming up. versus actually taking damage, because Varia does enjoy, reduced damage from that suit. I don't blame him either. Like, the last thing you want to do in Bryn when you need like to farm as you're going along with like low ammo counts like this is to get health bombed. So really, he gets like all health anyways. Yeah, I generally do not want that. And there's an early Pearl as well. So logically speaking, in normal mode, you're expected to kill Spore Spawn for that. But our runners are saying no thanks. That's too much time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of skip it by doing a neat little kind of off the wall. I don't know if you want to call it a screen wrap, but basically shooting a super to the block off screen will actually register it if it's within a specific placement. And I'm gonna use a similar tactic here to kind of get this super to hit the gate here. Is missing quite a bit actually. Okay, so this is how I used to do it. And then I hated myself for it. So then I adopt it to the actual like strat. And gets it on the last super. No, okay, I don't have the audio on, so I was like, gets it in the last question mark, but no, it does not. It's super short though. Earl and Sword here, really nice finds. But unfortunate about Wavegate. That's a lot of supers down the ground too. So like you're gonna have to farm. You got a super door coming up as well, so he has to farm unless supers are here. So it's really not an ideal spot to be in here. Generally want to float your super count as high as you can early game. Okay, we got Spark Across. Let's see what's that waterway. I hate this game. More power bombs. The bailout is real, guys. I don't know, man. Like I hate every low power bomb game just tends to bail out, and I don't know why. It's like, yeah, I'll play conservative. I'll stay away from Bryn. Nah, just go to Bryn. That's where all the power bombs are. As Farflu is gonna be farming up some power bombs here, which is nice. The next problem now is he's gonna have to farm supers. Potentially for two reasons. So they can elect to farm for supers here at Wavegate, or they can leave, which is extremely risky. Like, I would not advise that at all. Mainly because, you know what? Like, if you leave this here, you're basically, like, never coming back until its last location. There's zero chance you come back. And the fact that he's farming from Warm 1 Super here tells me he's going to go back to Wavegate. Yeah, there's a traditional strat where you can line up. Where if you moonwalk... maybe that's why he doesn't have moonwalk on. I don't know. You can do it with a morph turn, but... Okay, gets it there. Nice. Where you can just kind of moonwalk against that back wall there and do a little bit of a turn, and it puts you in the proper placement every time. Gets a reserve tank for his efforts too. It's funny. I know Farflu's French, right? So he probably saw that item and he was like, "Merde." just doesn't want it. Just doesn't want it. I think got a super pack actually in the tube there, which was really nice. Pumps back up his per count. Is taking a lot of damage here, surprisingly. Huh. I guess he went in with like oh my god, get out of here with these power bombs. Okay, so guys, what that means is if they went retro or if they went Bryn, they were gonna be fine on power bomb counts. So there's like no wrong answer here. So if I'm a runner in this weekly, I'm just like at first I'm like, yeah, I made the right call, and then I'm like, hey, it didn't matter at all, basically. Okay, so health's pretty low. It's gonna still spark. Let's get put him pretty close here. So He won't die as long as he doesn't hit the spikes here. Pretty sure the rock will only hit him for like 15. Okay, good. Some more supers. Yep, 15. So miss the super there. So you can actually break those blocks with supers. It's a nice safe tactic to generally to prevent hits, but unfortunately, it's kind of a weird timing with it though. Sometimes you can hit it and it still hits you because you're still in its hitbox. Okay, MM2 with some nice short charges there. Gets through without spending the powerbomb. Gets the powerbomb refill. Probably felt like a god, but like, oh man, I gotta do this. You know, I gotta be conservative about my ammo, and then just gets the bailout package again. I can't overstate. I feel like I know I'm leaning into this a lot, guys, but I really gotta overstate here, like how lucky these powerbomb placements are, considering like how low the powerbomb start was. And we see the cape here with a nice little camera manipulation. If you like jump onto that block, it'll move the camera back down. You don't have to go all the way up, but once the item anyways. Okay, so this is kind of a bad spot for Farflu, and MM2 is going to run into this similar problem here. Just do not have enough energy to kind of go up the shaft here. If you had a full reserve, you'd be sitting pretty. But on one E-tank, you can get up there, but you're going to be pretty low health, so you can take like one spike hit, basically. But you should be able to make it the whole way. But Farflu going to go ahead and take the refill here at ship. Let's see if they go back to... They might, like, elect to go back to shaft right away, or they might just put it off and say, you know, I'll just come back later. Honestly, me personally, with that refill, I would just go back now. And if it's nothing, I can just reset the ship and go red tower or go wreck ship or whatever. But it's gonna go gauntlet and tried to break that wall, but unfortunately, bit of a miss. Okay, so we saw the back of Gauntlet was nothing too good here. We do see a mushroom here at Gauntlet E-tanks, so that's unknown value, as I call it. Like it sucks that it's there, but you know what? MM2 gonna go for the shaft here on 156. That's still doable, but you're gonna be pretty light again. Oh, he's just gonna scout. Okay, okay. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure with 156 you can just make it. But, like, you have, like, no energy to take spikes, so... it would just be like, well... you could try, but you're not gonna make it. And just use this arrows, so it's like, see you later. Meanwhile, Farflu gonna go ahead and go to the right side here. Let's see if it's wreck ship early, or if it's gonna be... Yeah, it's gonna be... Well, at least moat. I know some players like to do the moat, but considering they're setting up a shine, tells me that they are going to go to the wreck ship. IMO, correct call here. All you really have to show for your efforts right now is a Pearl and a Varia, grand scheme of things. Like, you got that sword, that's cool, but it's not really doing much for you. The Varia is kind of a sneaky one though, like, because it's going to give people a lot of people an out to not go to wreck ship now, because now they'll have a more bountiful area in Norfair, and it's actually going to be quite quick with speed. So you can take that Frog Speedway and cut across or underneath the cathedral area. That's pretty hilly, and it's doable with like without high jump, but it's just slower, and you have to spark with their current load up, but still doable to scout that item early if they want to. MM2 gonna follow suit, gonna check out Gauntlet. I don't know if he pre-scouted, so they might have to do all of Gauntlet. But even so, like, you know, if you do it all, you got that mushroom, you're just gonna come back and not have to kind of reset anyways, so there's no play there. And we have our first SM boss fight here in Phantoon. Historically, one of the worst bosses in the game, secretly. Not necessarily that difficult for seasoned runners, but more for the newer ones. I think it's, you know, he's just an intimidating guy. He's like a space elephant, right? Like, there's little trunk noises, like, you know, those ones. And seemingly random patterns, but like a lot of his patterning is very predictable if you've run this game for a while. And you know, like, the odds and like where he's going to kind of open his eyes. So there's like, depending on like what pattern you're here. So see how Farflu knew that the eyeball was going to open up. That's what's known as a mid. So you're basically always on the watch out for like 3 key timings. And the kind of a way I like to do it is he kind of looks like he's about to slow down. And Farflu. I know he's got the reserve. Okay. I was gonna say, he's taking a lot more damage than I would like in this fight. Bit of a rough one. But is kind of chugging along here. Gets the missile combo super in there on, I think that's phase 4? But gets the job done though. Doesn't die. That's like the primary goal of a Phantoon fight, is not to die. It's a pretty bad time loss. Like I get everything's a time loss when, like, oh, that was MM2, please. There's kids watching, man. You just can't pull out moves like that, right? So MM2 doing his spark actually set up a little bit of a ledge grab there. Just a little cheeky with that. A lot of people would just jump there. He just like, nah, man. I gotta maintain as much horizontal speed as possible. I'm just gonna ledge grab across. It's pretty nasty stuff. But yeah, with Phantoon dead, Wreck Ship's now awake, meaning Farflu can scout the rest of this. Gets the single arrow. One of the worst items in the game for 2 reasons. One is it's a single arrow, and the second one is actually, if you have auto tracking on for SMZ3, it'll actually trigger as the bow. So I hate running into that. Like in Link to the Past, like, I can't do anything about it because a lot of the stuff's chests, so I won't know what the item is until I open it. Whereas SM, if I scout it, I'm just like, nope, see you later. Getting the Master Sword though, so that's kind of nice. Early Master Sword ahead of like a lot of Link to the Past, so they've only really done the early stuff. So like East Death Mountain, Escape. Early Master Sword leading the Dark World is gonna make it quite a bit easier seed actually. Like the earlier you can get your weapon power up in Link to the Past, the better for a lot of runners. Just generally makes you faster, right? It's like less swings to kill things in your way, etc. MM2 also, of course, electing to go to Wreck Ship and is going to be priming ready for his Phantoon fight. Okay, so again, the score is 1-0 right now, guys, with Farflu's sprite choice over MM2. So if MM2 can get under 4 rounds for Phantoon, then he will tie the game here. Misses a couple of missiles on that Doppler. It's not the end of the world. It's just annoying because then it's going to be harder to do. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to go for a 2-rounder. Definitely cannot get the 2-rounder with that. And it's going to go for the, yeah. It's a nice little cleanup there. Nice little easy peasy. I call it my standard, the 3-phase. As the arm pumps in disgust. That's his rage pumps, guys. He's raging right now. I don't think he's raging, but just in case, I'm gonna choreograph that. Okay, so not like a Gets the nice little worker robot clip there. Gets a space jump. All right, so that's amazing early on. So generally speaking, you're not really happy to see space jump over, say, high jump. But given the fact that their next visit's going to probably be Norfair here, they're going to be quite happy to see that space jump. Just because now you're going to have a lot more maneuverability vertically and getting through a lot of these higher platforms that would normally be a pain in the ass. Specifically Bubble Mountain. Bubble Mountain sucks. So it would be like I have to turn off speed, and I'm probably going into that save room. Well, you go in the save room if you have speed on, but you can turn it off and be right at the door and be able to make the jump, but it sucks. And you could do the wall jump across like not like a CWJ, but like similar to Gauntlet's wall jumps, but who wants to do that, right? Yeah, good item. Really good find here early on. It's not really, again, it's not something I'm like super pumped to find in Wreck Ship so far, like making this early play. But I'm happy that I found it, basically. It's still going to make me faster over my competitors that if high jump's not down there. Oh, MM2 getting blasted there. The D boost, dude, just runs into the, it's like, you know, you're too tall and you hit the hanging light or like the door frame. That's what happened to MM2 there with that spark D boost. All right, I just performed one of my favorite breaks in the game is bowling. Generally speaking, I will grab a beer during this. It's because there's just enough time. We get morph bombs. Morph bombs are okay, but like, I feel like morph bombs are just really good to have at the early stage. So like Brinstar is basically when I really want morph bombs for. But other than that, it's like flavor. It's all right in like LN, but other than that, I'm not really using it much. Like I'll use it here. Obviously, it's faster. But again, it's one of those things you just, again, you want to get earlier. So yeah, space jump, the real prize here. So we do have morph bombs as well. So both are can fly. Important to note. That being said, you have speed. So not really anything in Norfair they could have done without speed. So logically speaking, everything's still on the table, but they can just move themselves faster throughout the sea. That's really all they gain from Wreck Ship here. And a boss kill, of course. I'm into using his space jump just to check out that sky missile. They're gonna grab the E tank in the mountain. Not too far behind, honestly. Pretty close. About a couple of minutes at this point. They've generally done everything the same. You know, they've both done escape. They've kind of done the same stuff, just in a bit of a different order. And I think the only thing Farflu hasn't done that MM2 has is Ice Rock Cave. So that's a bit of the explainable of why they're a little bit behind. Again, more movement. So Spring Ball, something that's not logically a thing in normal mode, but it's really nice to have. That has like way more logical implications than hard, but it's a really good movement item to have. I would say for like those like really seasoned runners, Spring Ball is like one of those best items you can find. Getting eaten by the Yapping Maw though. Is that a Yapping Maw? It's like the Gaping Maw. I forget what that name is. The Fly Trap? I always forget. The Vile Plumes, I guess. Yeah, the Vile Plumes are what they're called, like in speedrunning, I'm pretty sure. My memory is kind of foggy right now. Not gonna lie. But I don't know. What are they? I thought they were like mushrooms as a kid. I don't know. right, so with the space jump, X rate is in logic. Farfaloo gonna go ahead and check that there. Taking a bit of a bumpy ride here. Pretty traditional on your way there. You'll take a hit or two from the waivers. Just because they're generally not in a good spot. And we see gravity at X rate. Nice. Nice normal mode. Double suit. No Dark World access. Just do all of SM Pog. It's just normal mode classic right now. Don't do Dark World until like an hour in, forehead. No big deal. So yeah, with gravity, you pretty much have the whole seed. So it's also unlocked lower Norfair because they do have space jumps. So you know what, you're probably happy to have done wreck ship at this point because now again, LN is on the table. LN's gonna be faster, and you know it's in logic. So it's one of those things like you kind of know your options a little bit better, at the cost of you know, doing a bit of a slower. What? MM2? What the hell was that, dude? Like. Bro, you're behind. Like, why are you memeing, boy? Why are you memeing? Like, get out of there. Thank you. Unbelievable, guys. I get it. He hates spring ball and all, but like, bruh. Interesting to see the different strategies too in like these rooms. Like for example, the Alpha Peebs, you know, Farfaloo going for like kind of a you know, I would say a more newer centric strat with the D boost, and then MM2 kind of went from like a bounce ball, I guess you can call it. It's just really cool to see like, you know, runners different kind of tricks and strats throughout the different rooms, because you know there's always like the quote-unquote optimal way to do things, but then there's like ways that people habit form in, and then they just like it's almost like they could just do their strats faster, so that's why they just kind of choose to hang on to them. And MM2 is getting just owned right now. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna call it 2-1, guys. 2-1 for Farfaloo. That was that was a room. So like I said, is those waivers can kind of like hit you, but I guess the spikes can kind of beat you up too. Oh god. What is this sprite? All right, it's 3-1. 3-1 for Farfaloo. I don't know what that sprite was. Got the quick kill on Kraid. Generally something I would expect from both these runners, so I'm not really surprised. I'm not gonna hype it up, guys. Guys, I wasn't expecting like rose pink, like rose red. I don't know what color is that. It's like a rose color, right? Like that's, I'm not crazy, am I? Yeah, that's like a rosy pink highlights. I don't know. A nice little mouth ball there from Farfaloo on the exit of Crazy Lair, and is going to go ahead and go to Meridia. So pre-crash the tube, MM2 did the same thing. So pre-crashing doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to go in right away. But you know what? Given what their gear looks like, a bit of a bonk there from Farfaloo. So given what their gear is, the conservative play here would be to go to Meridia. Oh, unfortunate. The double, dude. So it gets through that first obstacle and then bonks. And it's kind of, you know, I don't want to swear here, guys, but it's kind of, do I say it? Do I do? No, I can't. I can't. It's not my platform. It's kind of bad. Yeah, so it gets the supers there. Just because it is supers and you're so low, you're like, I gotta do that spark again. Like, it sucks. Like, you probably said something that I can't say on air, but I'd be thinking the same thing. I'm like, why does it have to be supers? Like if it was a required item, I'd be probably even like worse off. But like my super count's at like 25. I'm not happy see those supers there. But yeah, I got some third try. Gonna go ahead and check out Mama T. Gonna get the energy refill, which is really nice from all the sparks that are occurring right now. Just give him a bit of a proper refill. Does have full Meridian logic too with that that space jump or that speed booster. The only thing not in logic currently would be not Crocomire, would be Shack Tool. But everything else is gonna be on the table. Well, I guess Plasma. It is normal mode, so Plasma's not in logic either. They could do it with speed. That'd be a sexy play, actually, chat. That'd be quite something. They just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm just gonna risk it. I vividly recall a race Andy and I did once in SMZ3, and it was like when I was like, it's probably 2018. So it was like, you know, a year and a bit since SMZ3 came out. And I decided to do the it was normal mode, so I did the short charge. Sorry, no, I didn't do short charge. I used like pseudo screw with charge to just break Plasma early, and it was like my go mode ice rod, so I just like crushed him. So the poor guy like had to. Oh, speaking of charge, there you go. So that okay, now the story's even more relevant. So there you go. That's a really amazing find. Charge means that like, hey, I don't really need to look for ammo anymore actively, but I'll probably, given that I don't have any beam strength, they're gonna be packing away the supers, especially if they're in reach. But yeah, the poor guy Andy had to went back with like Plasma or screw attack like 40 minutes later. He's like, what the hell, dude? And then too, the nice short charge there on the bottom gets his supers. Nice. Just scout the missiles there. Crab supers it's gonna be not so nice. And pretty much just gonna follow suit with Farflu. So pretty much everything we've seen on Farflu's screen, MM2 is gonna do in the exact same order. So I would probably say let's draw some focus and attention to Farflu just for a minute to see a red cane there at Aqueduct. Nice. So interesting that we have all the canes we have all the rods and a cane already. No hammer, no titans though. We have one medallion, so it's a little early to like start calling your shots on like what do you think is where the seed kind of wants it to go or where you think you should go based on that. But it's pretty interesting that you have this many late game items early. So that generally means to me that's gonna be a bit of a quicker seed. The more times you have like hammer, like say a glove go mode, the less you have to do in Link to the Past. Generally speaking, in SMZ3, you're going to probably do almost all of SM always. So that's kind of like a sunk cost. Whereas like you'll save time on Link to the Past, like not checking things because it's a more longer game. MM2 had a really cool strat there. I was wondering if he's going to try and pseudo or kind of short charge past the fish into a jump, but I guess kind of just missed the timing there. Me personally, I'm old fashioned. I just like super the damn thing. Like I just kind of kill him upright. Like I'm like, you know what, dude, straight up, I'm just gonna fight you. I'm gonna win every time, but you're just gonna sit there and you're gonna deal with it. Sees nothing on either sandpit on Farflu's side, so we know that's dead. Just the charge beam right now in Meridia. All right, so Farfelu is setting up for super Botwoon here. Gets 6 hits, needs 10 supers to kill this thing. I say thing because I don't know what he is. There we go, gets the 10th one. 3-rounder, but that's okay. Generally gets faster as you pump more damage into him because he just starts spawning faster, moving faster through his phases. So not a big deal. So he's an energy tank there. Probably just gonna leave it for after. Is doing quite a bit of farming here. This is honestly what I would do. So, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, for someone that does run this game from time to time and plays a lot of SMZ3, is that Batoon sucks. Batoon, sorry. Dragon sucks. Dragon's actually the worst boss in this game. You can give me like low percent Ridley, and I die to that. It's my fault. And I'll be fine with it. I'll be like, yeah, you know what? He could have been a piece of trash with some of his movement. And I could have probably dodged it better. It's like, whatever. It's low percent. I go into Dragon with like just speed and like limited ammo. I'm just not having a great time. I'm cursing up a storm. I'm just hating life. It's not a fun boss. I don't know what it is about this fight. It's just not a fun boss. It's very like, to do it well is like an art, and it takes a lot of practice. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong in this fight. Generally speaking, the first part of this fight's scripted. You can get that short charge, and you generally want to hit him closer to his head as possible. Such as Farflu's second hit there is gonna try and finish it off here with supers. It's gonna be pretty close. It's almost dead. Should get it with the spark here. A little too low though. So the farther away you are from the head, the less damage you do. And oh, gets that would have been a little unfortunate. So it does get the blue suit, but kind of rides the corpse. And the problem is the body's still warm, so he's taking damage every time. You know, even though Dragon's dying, it can still do damage. It still has an active hitbox, meaning that like it's still hitting Farflu. And the bonus is because he has a blue suit, he doesn't have iframes anymore. So like Dragon's like chain damaging him. So it's not a good scene. MM2 gonna go ahead and get that E-Tank now. Honestly, either way, it's a good call because now I have more energy for Shine Sparking at Dragon. Whereas Farflu is gonna enjoy the quick refill here and have like better resource management coming up. Does not get the E-Tank. Okay. I'm just gonna say no, see you later. That's kind of a weird one. Like if you see the E-Tank there, you figure you go for it unless they forgot about it, right? Me personally, I would just grab that. I wouldn't, like, you're at 4 E-Tanks, right? Like I get it, you're gonna run into more, but generally speaking, I would not make that play. Okay, so gonna go ahead and go to Dark World here. Gonna check out Ice Rock Cave. I like the play. Dark World will be broken here, so there's nothing logic right now for Dark World. You don't have a glove hammer, you don't have Titans, you don't have a lamp to go through Aghanim, and you don't have flippers. So if either runner had flippers, then Dark World would be in logic via this warp here at Meridia. But using some really cool shenanigans, you can actually get across with a fake flipper. And we see Pod, Swamp, and Thieves as pendants. And I want to say Swamp was green pendant, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, he's giving me the look. He's giving me the second look. What a champ. Pod is green pendant, and Skullwoods is the red crystal. Okay, so Farflu is going to set up a fake flipper here. And shoutouts to Chex Human, actually. It was the one that showed me, and I think it was Asder and Duck. So we were running, so we found out about this because we were running the SMZ3 vanilla like speedrun for a bit, right? Like Total made a hack, so it was basically both games but vanilla. And we're figuring out how to route Dark World without getting a glove, and this is what we came across. And we're like, oh, we can fake flipper. And then Chex is like, no, dude, you can just like do that little hop there if you kind of position yourself properly within the pixels on that lake. You can actually do like a second jump out of water for some reason and be able to hit that platform and get on dry ground. And the reason why that's so good is because that flying mushroom is an actual, he's a dick. I can't, there's no other way I can put it, guys. He's just, you know, it is what it is. And he will like mess up your day. And if you take a death, like if you get hit in water, you like just die. And it's like a tremendous time loss. So it was like super good that this was found. so that we're able to kind of like make the run like super safe. And like bringing it to rando, it's a really nice tool to kind of get that early Dark World access. Okay, so this is a weird one. Where's he going? This is a weird call. This is a really weird call. So you spend the time going to Farflu or MM2 is doing the same thing, by the way. But you spend the time to go fake Dark World through the fake flipper, but then you're gonna go to Norfair. I get it, like Norfair is probably the better spot you want to be at. But I'm just, why go to Pyramid and end it there, right? I get it. Pod is not completable and pod is a pendant, but it's like, you don't have a hammer anyways. Like if it's a crystal pod, you're getting the key, sure, but I'd still, I don't know. Me personally, I would just commit the time to pod. So we'll see what MM2 does here. And MM2 is going to go the warp way. Okay. So this is the other way you can go into the area. So again, it's safe as well. But MM2 is going to learn very quickly that now he's going to have West Dark World access. He's also going to learn very quickly that he doesn't have glove. Oh no, he's going to catch in the mushroom. Okay, Pog. It looked like he was going for the rock. And I was like, why are you coming here? I'm just surprised they didn't do it earlier because of flute. But that's fine. And again, showing off that, you know, you can just mirror in and out to kind of do that screen in lieu of a screen transition. Gets the silver arrows. It's that's worth. It's a nice little pickup here. But yeah, we have some routing divergence. I didn't see anything here on Ice Crumble of substantial worth. But the reason why you want to do this kind of this sequence, so you have two options. You can go Pyramid Pod, or as MM2 just showed off, you can go the warp, and then you don't need the glove hammer anymore to get across because you're already in water, so you can just kind of hook shot across. So it's a really neat play to kind of get to West Dark World early, which is generally where you want to start in early Dark World anyways. So it's just kind of giving him an advantage to kind of get ahead of it and say, you know, I'm just going to go here now. I'm pretty comfy with my gear. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and check things out. Unfortunately, he's greeted by a Pendant Thieves, which diminishes the play a little bit. And it, you know, you're still going to be able to get to like Hype Cave and such, but it's really not ideal. But, you know, you still have Crystal Skull, so... Yeah, I think it was Bombos as well. I just don't know if Bombos is important yet, right? But also I didn't see it, so thank you. I gotta keep it honest, guys. I can't catch everything. Okay, MM2 gonna go ahead and scout up the bumper cave here. Doesn't have cape. Sees the shovel. Is not gonna go for it. All right, this is the first blunder of the day. MM2 has the cape. No glove. Blunder of the day for me. Guys, I'm trying to make fun of MM2, okay? Can you just let me have this one? Guys, can you stop, please? I'm trying, all right. Spazer for Farflu. Finally some beam damage with that charge beam. I'm just kidding, Chad. I would never be upset with you. Don't worry about it. So it'd be funny is so this is probably the worst scenario I can think of for Farflu's sake. I'm not saying it'll happen, but it would be pretty bad if the only thing you find within Norfair and LN is flippers, because then that means you have to go back through Meridia to get to Dark World. Well, I guess you have the option of like Dark Aga or Aga if you had a lamp, but you know there's no return on that, so it's like it's a not great situation. That's why I'm kind of surprised they didn't at least entertain Pod, but again, we'll see how it plays out. I'd also suggest that like the play MM2 is doing is very safe. Like, yeah, it's out of logic, but again, it's like early West Dark World. The only like time loss is not having gloves and boots, and relatively speaking, it's not that bad. You have a flute to come back later if you need to, and you're still running into crystals, so it's not too bad. Could it be a better? Sure, but I mean, like, that's like the game in a nutshell, right? Pretty good fight. Pretty good. Makes use of that Master Sword spins along the spikes at the start. Master Sword spins are actually really good on Moth. Because the problem with Moth is when you hit him into spikes, like, he has invulnerability flames to that hit. And basically it negates the damage. But if you do a spin, because it hits twice within a very short time frame, even though he goes into spikes, he rebounds right back into the spin and takes the hit it was supposed to. So it like lengthens, I guess you can call it. It lengthens the hit duration, I guess is the best way to look at it. Farflu looks like he's gonna be going to LN here. Like, he's positioning himself for it. He's going along this way. Like, you could go Croc, but I don't know. Not ideal at this point. And it's priming the power bomb, so yes, we'll be going down to LN. Flippers would put what MM2 is doing in logic. Yes. Because again, like, he can swim across. So it's in logic for two reasons. Like, he can swim across to the portal and then hookshot over, or he can swim across the land area of Pod and Pyramid and can still jump over the cliff near the hammer peg and the lift rock and be able to swim across the river as well. So there's two areas that you can essentially swim through. So yeah, it's in logic if that's the item. But generally speaking, again, for Farflu's sake, he does not want to see flippers, because then that's just going to be like, well, whoops. But I get it. Like, it's pendant Pod. Like, you know, I don't want to criticize plays, right? But again, just thinking relative to like the time spent, I'm just like, we actually see our first bottle here in C shape, which is pretty much an outlier. Farflu did get Book as well in Norfair area, but Book is one of those things that are kind of nice to have. It's just more checks, really. The bottle's nice because it's right here, and MM2 can just like mirror out and check it now, or after Thieves or whatever. But Pendant Thieves coming up? Question mark? Yep. So we'll have to see if MM2 elects to do the first 4 or go the full 8. I would suggest at this point, me personally, I would probably do full Thieves in this position, because I'm already going through a sequence break, leaving Norfair and Ellen on the table, even though I know it's in logic. And the whole point of my visit is to kind of try and kind of go the seed and give me that Dark World access through this break. So in order, I haven't seen it yet, nor have I gotten a piece that I need, because I'm out a glove, and I'm out a hammer. So at this point, I would much rather just kind of go through the motions and see what I can get. Meanwhile, Farflu going to get rewarded with a Bombos required Mire. Does have the red cane, can complete Mire, not in logic without the lamp, but would be able to do it in this circumstance. And also gets his first bottle at Mire Shed. So, what do you know? I'm too gonna cash in that bottle right now. And it's nothing as always, because SMZ3 does not like putting items in the bottle spot. Myth confirmed. Yeah, MM2, yeah, just electing to kind of bail. I guess I should finish that conversation off. Is gonna decide to say, no, I don't want to do full thieves. I don't care about the implications of why I'm doing this. I'm just gonna say nope. And you know, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Back thief sucks when it's a pendant. It's a pretty nasty time spend, but and you have Hype Cape coming up. But the only drawback is now, you know, rather than I could go back, but it's a significant time spent to go back. I'm basically just gonna go to SM and just hope nothing's there. And it's probably the safer play, honestly, to not do it. Boots locked desert. That's gross. But not really, because you know you're gonna get boots in the seed. But also gross because we haven't seen boots and it's an hour 13 yet. So if boots were here in Mire, I would say a pretty nice edge to Farflu. A, because, you know, he has the Bombos and the boots at that point for Mire access. But B, will now be able to do all those Dark World checks that MM2 did. Or less, depending on like what go mode is and what the options are on the table. But also be able to do them faster. So it's interesting to see the two different routes here, though. Like I'm enjoying seeing the diversity here. Diversity. There we go. See the God big key on the bridge. No boots to hover, and I'm not sure if Farflu can hover. My hovering's awful right now, guys. Let me tell you. Like, I've changed over my controller rubbers lately. I've even tried boiling new ones, and nothing's working. So, I think I just suck at the game now, personally. That's what I think is happening. So, it's like, I don't know what any controller is going to save me. I'm all washed up, chat. All right, nothing in Hype Case. So, MM2 is going to S and Q here. There's really no other option left other than doing a... basically like a bomb glitch going into the water here. So MM2 is going to go ahead and say, you know what? Enough of this. I'm going to go to Norfair, or am I? And the reason I say am I before he does the turn there is because Hera is on the table, and I actually really like this play. Hera is a crystal, has full access to it. Also has a hook shot to make it faster, so... This is kind of the play I was waiting for. And I think it's the first time we've seen this cave and inside, so it's gonna be interesting to see. Okay, if boots were there, I was gonna cringe a little, because I was about to say, why am I not playing this seed? But yeah. Those who can't do teach, and those who can't teach run commentary. Well, I can do both, so get owned. All right. M2 getting the early big key here. Oh my god. No. Farflu, no. Okay, chat. Let's huddle for a second. So the flippers have appeared, and Farflu has not run into any other Dark World access. So that means two things. It means that Dark World is now on the table through that nightmare scenario I've already talked about. But it means one more thing, is it means that Pod is now a very lucrative option that Farflu could have done. So, like, he's kind of kicking himself and hitting his knee on the desk at the same time. It's not... It's really the item you did not want to find with the play made earlier. So, unfortunate, but, you know, them's the breaks in rando sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean almost always. It's never the way you want it to go, so... it sucks, but, you know, you'll get through it. He'll have his second crystal coming up anyways, right? So it's not, like, all bad. MM2, meanwhile, going to have his third. And is actually going to be up, right, on that crystal count. 3-1 shortly thereafter, 3-2. Same boss count in SM, 3-3. And doesn't get anything in Hera. Okay, so now MMC is going to elect to do basically what Farflu has just been doing and do the the Norfair stuff. But I don't know who's going to be more upset, like MM2 or Farflu here, just because we're getting to the point here where MM2's done more of Dark World, like significantly more, and has gotten almost nothing out of it, right? Whereas MM2 or Farflu is now going to go on that clean slate and has flippers. So it's a feels bad seed all overall. I don't know, the way the runners have routed it, it's kind of sucks. Me personally, because I'm a memer, I would probably have gone to Pod. But again, hindsight's 2020, right? Like it's easy to make those callouts. I really like MM2's decision to go to West Dark World. That's something that generally I don't really think of, so that's kind of a good takeaway there. But me personally, I just Pod. Like, I don't know. It's anytime I'm in this kind of situation, I don't have Dark World access. Yeah, it could be Norfair. I'm just like, hey, Pod. Pendant, that's fine. Pod. It's dumb. It sounds stupid, guys. It just works. It's rando brain. And no, it's not good because Farflu just took a death there. That's unfortunate. That's a bad time loss, too. Oh, I was going to leave. Unfortunate. Yikes. That's a meaty one. So, like, you know, you're already low. When you die in Link to the Past, you don't really get your resources back, right? You don't get magic back. You don't get, like, all your health back. And considering I would say that they're pretty low percent at this point, you know, you can get that magic pot refill to get full magic, but still speaking, like, I don't have as many arrows anymore, if enough arrows to beat Vidi, right? So it was a pretty unfortunate death, and you have the time loss on top of it, right? Like, it's 2 to 3 minutes getting back. Within the dark room, it just depends on how the block works and the bullets hit you, right? So, unfortunate. Yeah, Book was in wave missiles, that's correct. And you were right, Bombos was at Crumble Tower as well. I caught that on MMT's side. So Make Work Hard is not really making work hard right now. Doing an excellent job. Helping me out with the tracking. Appreciate that. I guess it's Herd, not Make Work Hard. Herd. Yeah, he did. He did. I saw it. Okay, so Farflu in the worst room of the game. There's so many different ways to handle this room. There are definitely correct ways to handle this room. But I'm generally speaking, I don't want to say sensitive. I'm more understanding of a lot of runners, you know, how they like to handle this room. So I don't really say, oh, well, they could do it this way. You know, again, it's one of those rooms that just everyone develops their strat for, and it's just like, whatever. Yes, it can be done faster a lot of times, but... Oh, give me... Okay, that's a good spot for high jump. Right before LN, like right after worst room in the game. Yeah, high jump, nice. Yeah, it's just one of those rooms where, like, again, there's like thousands of ways to do it, and it's just like a whatever kind of situation. It's really hard to nitpick. MM2 gonna go ahead and get his Spazer here in the Norfair Reserve area. And Farflu is gonna head over to LN. Again, kind of a rough seat for Farflu right now. I don't know, guys. Is it the restream pressure? Like, I don't know. You, the chat, decide. I'm gonna say no, and I'm just gonna say, you know what? Vitreous is not an easy boss fight. Especially if I would suggest that Link to the Past is not your main game, and this combo randomizer is actually probably the hardest boss fight. Generally speaking, I can't think of another boss in Link to the Past that's harder, honestly. Oh, that's just the salt in the wound. Oh no! Oh god, so the tempered sword actually makes Vitreous significantly easier. Within the NMG strips aside, it just makes it a lot faster and easier. You can actually do the full fight with just Cape and tempered sword at that point. So, be interesting to see what he does next if he decides to go back for Vitreous. I don't know if he got both items. I think he did, considering he skipped the spike chest after the big chest, getting those flippers. So I don't know if he just goes back for it and he just waits for Titan's Hammer. It's not a Fat Fairy Crystal, so he doesn't have to worry about like the crystal implications, so he probably just waits for it. I'm pretty sure he got all two, because again, he skipped the spike chest, right? I saw the one, I didn't see the other, but I'm just gonna assume based on the skip chest that yeah, he got two. How many charged Spazer shots is it to kill Ridley? Way too many. That's a question you really don't need the answer to, like, because it's just, you're never gonna see it. I guess you would maybe in SM rando, but it's like you would see supers going into him and it would just muddy the count. But my head 180 is floating right now. I don't know if that's correct. It's in around, I know it's over 100. I'd be shocked if it's less. 180, maybe that's, no, I think 180 is Mother Brain. So maybe around 150. As Aussie, yeah. 150 does sound accurate. I know it's less than Mother Brain, but not much. So yeah, 150 is a safe bet. Aussie, of course, my 2v2 partner for the tournament that we just won last year, Pog, and is also going to be a competitor in my upcoming invitational. This is a good race, honestly. This is a pretty good race. Again, it's, you know, you got some ups and downs. I would suggest that at this point MM2 is in the lead, just because, again, I think the Vidi death tilted it more towards MM2. I honestly would say for the first time this race, he seemed ahead. That being said, there's still a lot of race to happen, and I'm not seeing a lot of worth in. We still have like 5 more checks coming up, but we have not seen a lot of worth here in LN yet. And all we see is those flippers, essentially. So, meaning they're going back through Meridia, or they're doing Dark Aga. Like, it's that kind of seed where it just kind of, I wouldn't call this a friendly seed, guys. Oh, okay, never mind. The glove just decides to show up. Okay, cool. I guess you do have the flipper checks too, right? Like, I don't think we've seen Hobo or Waterfall or Zora area from either. What is this? Okay, so at 5 checks, guys, we've gotten 2 gloves back to back. That's a thing that happens in this game. You don't see it very often, but you know what? They have their Dark World access. Okay, so yeah, it definitely bails out Farfaloo significantly. Like that is actually big for Farfaloo. The biggest reason is it gives them really quick access back to Vidi immediately, so if he so chooses. But you know, if he were to run into Boots soon, then he has easier access back to Desert quicker as well. So he doesn't have to go through, you know, people breaking us or having to worry about people bringing Link to the Past, and then having to go back down through LN to get back to Desert at this point. I guess he did have a book though. Oh, okay, he's fine. He's fine. He's got like 120 energy. There's no way, right? There's no way, right? Okay, he's fine. Woo, chat. Woo. That was that was dicey, but he's okay. The 3 Musketeer rooms is one of the hardest rooms in the game, okay? I was in a race recently where I just died with Screw Attack because I didn't get a spin jump off against the wall on a turn, and instead of doing a spin jump, it just vertically launched me into the heavens and into the loving embrace of a key hunter that just obliged me and said, come in for some snuggles. But instead of snuggles, I got the warm embrace of death, and that kind of I just kind of forfeited from there. I was like, I don't really want to play this game anymore. A question in chat: when's this next Soulski Invitational supposed to start? Actually, next weekend. So Saturday, I believe the start time is tentative 10 a.m. I'll have more details about it this week. I kind of have to let the runners know what's going on first. Aussie's probably in chat like, yes, please let me know. God. All right, Farfaloo cashing in his first bottle, check. Yes, see? Yes, please. Don't worry, buddy. Information's coming. Then he's gonna say, you said that 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna be like, I know. I've been busy. Then he's gonna say, well, why are you commentating right now, not working on it? And I'm just gonna be like, you know what, I gotta edutain. I gotta warm up for the invitation. I gotta stretch out my, you know, my throat muscles and get my vocal cords ready for this. That sounded awful, didn't it? But that's okay. But realistically, I haven't commentating in a while, right? So this is a good warm up. All right, so Farfaloo is gonna start off here with Skullwoods with Titan Mitts in tow, which is great. It's gonna have those Titan Mitt checks as well, so it's gonna have, you know, can't do hammer pegs, lol. We'll also have Smith's Purple Chest now he can do with that mirror as well. I don't believe he's cashed in the mushroom yet, so insult to injury of not having silver for Viti aside, we'll be able to break that powder and check the bat early if he so chooses. MO2 meanwhile is going ahead into Myra right now and is gonna full clear this. Has silvers in hand, so should have a significantly easier fight. Yeah, Aussie is correct. My Twitch is probably best, but I'm gonna pull some strings, chat, and see what I can do to get some pings going. calling some favors, you know, like, hey, Balthasar, you remember when I was in the council and I helped you out with some SRL stuff? Yeah, just slide me a ping or 3 for SM Discord. Thank you. Just gotta wheel and deal, chat. That's all you gotta do sometimes, right? All right, Farfelu going into the back of Skull now. So again, nothing really too significant in Skull Woods. There is that Fat Fairy Crystal as the prize. We're racing. No, we are not racing through SRL. That's not happening. Can you imagine though, like if I asked for a ping, and then his response is, "Are you racing SRL? We can really use the boost." And I'll just feel like, you know what? That's okay, dude. Just have a great evening. You know, chat. Let's be real here, all right? Like, SRL was a good platform many moons ago, all right? Like it's like 2022. There's better products out there, right? It is what it is. I'm really having a bit of a rough time here with Moth as well. Surprising, honestly, but you know it does happen. You know, you get into, I don't want to call it tilt. Like, you know, some people love to hang on the emotions of runners, and they'll craft a story that like every runner's upset and mad. And in my experience, while that is somewhat true in very niche circumstances, generally speaking, you're not really. You're just kind of going through the motions, right? You played so many seeds. You're not really thinking about that stuff. Like, you know, it's crappy. Like if you taken a death in a boss and you lost time, but you already understand that, and you already understand what it's like, kind of impacted you in a race. So, you know, the pros, as I call them, they'll be able to kind of move past that and just kind of worry about what's ahead. So I would suggest that, yeah, generally speaking, like, you know. It might seem like it, but I would suggest like a lot of runners just they're not like salt mines. All right. But yeah, Donatello gonna kind of. God, I couldn't say the joke I wanted to. Gotta keep it PG. Yeah, no pet check. Generally speaking, the only thing I could think could be there right now is a required Quake or Boots. Hammer can't be there because of Pod Swamp and potentially Thieves. Depending on the Thieves, like how the key layout is. I don't remember specifically where the. Oh yeah, we didn't see all the dungeon yet, so I can't make that call. But generally speaking, that's a safe bet. But yeah, Pod and Swamp, just eliminate that from the conversation. But again, Boots and or Quake are the only things that could be there. So pretty light on, honestly, with the items that they have. Like they're almost in go mode, essentially at 135. Something I haven't really talked about, but it's the reality of it. And again, as I said before, the longer they go without like a core item like Glove, Titans, quote unquote, or Hammer, the faster the seat's going to be, because it's just more locked out in the longer game. So if they're able to get like Hammer as their second last go mode item is like the worst thing that can happen to them, because then it just opens up a lot of loose ends that they've probably already investigated. It turns the game in kind of a pick'em, but it just again slows down the seed depending on where the item is and like if they're right about their call and everything like that, right? So I'd be annoyed. But yeah, again, it could be just Hammer Boots go mode at this point. You know, you have 2 of the 3 medallions. Safe bet there. What is? MM2, please. What is this? What is this? All right, it's 4-2 Farfaloo. 4-2 Farfaloo. Busting out the golden showers in worst room in the game. Chat, I know I went through this like long monologue about how I don't shame strats in worst room in the game. I'm gonna shame that strat, all right? I'm shaming it. I don't care. Pretty crisp movement by MM2 though, getting out of the Franker Z room. Okay, so yeah, 4 crystals, 3 bosses versus 2 crystals, 4 bosses right now. With MM2 on his way to Ridley, I would definitely say again he's still in the lead. We'll have his Titans soon, so I can't even say that that's an advantage because that's a that's a pretty funny situation. You think like, you know, if you're a newer runner, you'd probably get like strung up by that. Like you'd see both gloves and then you're like, which one's the real one? God. I can't remember if I've seen like back-to-back gloves like that before. Other than like a Plando. Okay, so Farfaloo gonna go ahead and do the Titan lock checks now. Did not elect to go further in the thieves. Is just grabbing the frog interesting? Okay. So it's interesting because he has the mushroom still. He's held on to it. So it would be a good opportunity to cash in the frog into the purple chest while burning that powder. Well, yes, he loses the mirror. Or the mirror portal and has to go back. Like he has Titan's Flute, so it's not that much of a time constraint. I would just be thinking outside the box in those scenarios because again, I'm already down a boss that I should have. And that'd be a really good way to kind of catch up some time if I hit there. Like if boots are there, I'm just like pogging to the moon. I'm like, I'm back in this, baby. Loving it. And we see the shovel is just ammunition that the Flute Kid has hidden in the Meadowlands of Hyrule for some reason. You know, Hyrulean authorities will take care of that, guys. Like I just have to call the shots as I see them, right? M2 with a nice fight on Ridley. A little low on health, but he'll get enough back from Ridley anyways, hopefully. Okay, you got actually quite a bit, which is nice. Just thinking about the return trip is pretty nasty, right? So. Okay, so we see nothing from Bombos either on Farflu's side. MM2's health is draining here. It's gonna be a tough climb out. Has the 3 key hunters to deal with here. Generally scripted. Is gonna go for the safety save. Okay, so you can manipulate. I'm sure he knows the manipulation, but you can manipulate the key hunters to kind of go away from you if you kind of know how to move in this room. And just face plants right into it. Oh god, oh god, no, no. Okay, still in there. He's still alive. That's the important thing. I didn't see anything good from Smith. It looked like power bombs. I think he did burn the portal. I think he did burn the portal. Yeah. I don't think powder was anything good. All right, so MM2 is on his last straw here. 16 health. Does not have enough for a Crystal Flash. Unknown amount of energy in that reserve. I assume 100, but I'm not sure. And sees Double Glove and is like, what the hell? What is this? So I think in Farflu's case, he's like, oh, thank God there's something here. In MM2's case, I think he's a little more upset. Because again, had that earlier commitment to Link to the Past. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how MM2 handles this room coming up. Because again, it's not a great situation. You need to be very, very careful here. You don't have a lot of damage either. Like you could sit there and just charge Spazer. But it's like, I want to say 18, 20 shots each. Oh! Guess what the second last go mode item was on Farflu's side? That's not ideal. Oh, it doesn't even do the charge. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's gonna go regular into charge. Again, I feel like that's the right call. You know your limit, you play within it, you know. But Farflu getting the hammer on Ether. That's a pretty big turnaround here. So it's one item from Go. I would suggest MM2 is not as enticed to go there, given like the items. That being said, Norfair will spit him out on the mountain. So very well could fall up there. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Yep. Just do that. Just do that, buddy. God, throwing the super just in pure desperation wants to kill this thing. It could drop below. It could drop below. But where he's sitting, as long as he doesn't move, it should still be there. Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? This is exactly what I would do. I'm not shaming it, guys. This is you got to do what you got to do to survive, man. That last key hunter just does not want to let go. I think that's a lesson that everyone has learned today. For both runners, actually. Will survive this hit here. It does have full suit, but it is going to powerbomb for safety. You know, at this point, you don't really care about, like, math. You're just like, I don't want to get hit. Please don't kill me. Yeah, it gets the full magic. Yeah, 40 energy, you know you're safe, so. I don't think either of our runners have seen Croc. And just as I say that, it looks like MM2 is going to go for Croc. I think for him, this play makes sense just because he's seen a lot of the Dark World already. And it's just like, you know what? I'm not ready to leave. If Boots turns up here and he goes directly up to Ether, following, he's going to have a spectacular time with the rest of the seed. Meanwhile, Farfelu is going to go ahead and trend over to Dark World Death Mountain and TR, which is a great numbers game here. It's going to have 6 items in the overworld alone. It's going to have another potential 5 in TR if he gets everything in here. Plus mimics, so I guess 6. Yeah, there's your Quake. So Quake's required. So now 2 more items from Go. The situation's still bad when you get hammer first in this spot, right? Because it opens up a lot of options. It opens up Ball of Swamp, opens up Ball of Ice, opens up TR now, Crystal, right? But it's something that you want to generally just try and coast through. Gets the lamp finally. And Red Mail is now officially Donatello. Okay, so it was confirmed Leonardo before. This is much more defined. I guess his like turtle skin color, if I can say that. Like, it does look a lot more like Donatello. So okay, I kind of get it now. And there it is. The key under the doormat. God. Well, guys, we're going to see Farfelu go into TR. Because there's no way, no how that they don't. And MMT is going to continue on the cleanup of Grapple Beam area. Oh, God. I can just imagine MM2 doing like one of those little head tilts right when he sees screw attacks. Not like a... Probably has a swear or two in there too, just because of the situation with the with the key hunters, but just does like one of these like... It's just like your body reacting to something you don't want to see. Oh, God. The late screw attack strikes again. That's just an SMZ3 classic, though. Okay, so in Farfelu's situation, still a smidge behind here by Crystal. But it's closer to go mode right now. That being said, I'm assuming that MM2 will be getting this hammer very shortly. Just with how the route's going to work out by spinning him on the mountain. You know, you have that book. You might as well check it. That being said, you know, and they've also, I want to call it, they've also done a lot of overroll in Dark World already, so it's very enticing, even though it's kind of like a one-off. You're already up here, you might as well check it. That being said, there's still a couple of areas that you could check. And sure enough, one of them is going to be East Death Mountain, Dark World Death Mountain. That being said, he's not going to have hammer to go directly to TR. So we'll see how they we'll see how they ride this out. But I think all signs are going to point towards that ether, honestly. Right, Farfelu in one of the other worst rooms of the game, I guess for this game, is the Chain Chomp room. Deceptively hard. By deceptively, I mean not really, because they do a lot of damage. That being said, he does have red mail, but pretty scary room if you're low gear, especially if you go here early. Low hearts. It's a nasty one. And they never do what you want them to do, even though you can kind of predict their movements. They're just not a fun pack of hombres to deal with. And M2 gets the bad news, says, oh great, Quake's required as well. I hate that item, chat. I don't know about you guys. I hate X-Ray. That thing has cost me more lives in Super Metroid than I care to admit. Okay, so yeah, MM2 gonna trend on over towards Ether with that book in hand. Is gonna like what they see. Bit of a weirder order, but again, it makes sense given the fact that they had Titans. So it gets the density out of the way. It's gonna be kind of funny when they see the hammer. So I feel like they're just gonna go to TR at that point because they're already up here as well. But they do have the option to do other things with that hammer. None of them are necessarily good. I guess the only good one at this point is Ice. But then I'm looking at a split between Pod Swamp and Back of Thieves. Plus maybe Hammer Pegs. Plus maybe... I don't know if MM2 did Purple Chest. But not necessarily ideal things you want to do at this point. But yeah, he's going to elect to go to Turtle Rock here. Which, strong call, I agree with. It's just these boots, man. It's just both our runners just looking for those boots. How fitting is that the most wanted item in every person that has ever played this game is the thing that makes you go faster in the game, is your go mode. How fitting. At least it's not in GT this time. That's for certain. But if nothing turns up here in TR, this is going to turn into kind of a lottery. All right, there's the... oh, God. God. Can like someone from SG just like edit that you know, paw grab out, please? Thank you. It's claw. It's not paw. Sorry. All right. Laser Bridge gonna have the goods again? Or is it just gonna be shameful and disappointing? My vote's on the ladder. Okay, Farfaloo pausing. Just kind of reflect on the scene so far. His life choices to play today on a nice Saturday afternoon. Gonna take the safety door, as it's also known as. I won't say its official name, but takes the safety door. Smart choice on 2 hearts here. Kind of a weird lineup. I've never seen a lineup like that before without Mirror Shield. I think knowing maybe that they could take the hit was just like, I just want to stay on the platform. I don't care about like getting hit. I just don't want to fall off. I don't know. But gets the chest anyways. There's nothing there. I believe still 1 item left in TR here. I think we've seen both the map and compass. I'll get that confirmed in a second when Farfaloo has the menu. But I'm pretty sure we got 1 left. And then it's going to turn into the rando lottery that everyone loves to play. Where's my go mode amongst all these pendant dungeons? Yes, there is 1 more item here. Do have the map and compass. Yeah, so if boots pop here, it's a pretty quick seed for probably every runner involved. Generally speaking, you're probably going to end up in TR the second you find Hammer, because Quake is up here as well. So I feel like every person that plays this seed is going to run into that. And you'll see like a lot closer times, I would say, within the pack. That being said, you know, you have the unfortunateness is if boots do not spawn here, again, it's just not great options anymore. It's not Fat Fairy. You can't have that to lean on. You have Ice Palace that everyone's going to trend to first. And you see half magic here, so no boots. So Ice Palace will be the next play here. That is for certain. Both runners will be going to Ice. It is a crystal dungeon. There's nothing really enticing in other options. The only one that I can understand would be, you know, Zora area. And that's because they got flippers generally late. But Farfaloo is going over for a walk here. Where are you walking to, boy? Oh, I know where he's walking to. This is clever. Okay, is gonna go ahead and do Spike Cave. Is an option available? Meanwhile, MM2 just swinging his sword in the air. Thinking about what meme he's gonna broadcast for us next here. And nothing is Spike Cave. So yeah, again, Ice Palace is the play. Either ice or flipper checks. Generally speaking, I would like to see them go to the dungeon first, but we'll see what happens. And the only reason I say the dungeon first is because Icebreaker's really opened up the option of ice being more viable and attractive. As he roasts a dancing pickle, the southmost dancing pickle. I don't know why that pissed him off in particular, but he decided to just take his rage out on that one. I don't know, guys. Maybe he has a beef with it. I'm just here to commentate the game. And it's going to go ahead and enter an ice. So yeah, again, the right call. 3 items, really fast. It is a crystal dungeon. You know, there's not really better options right now. Again, looking at the flipper checks is probably another good dense area. But after that, you're looking at pendant dungeon dips. And not an ideal scenario. But I will call out for the memers in chat that yeah, pedestal is still available. Boots. Smith has been done. Purple chest has not been done. Hammer peg hasn't been done, right? So if we want to get into that game, so it's hammer pegs, purple chest, quake fish, Zora area, hobo, all of pod, all of swamp, and the back half of Thebes. That's the remaining options past ice. And then, of course, our lovely and endeared pedestal. Not my lovely and endeared pedestal. I should correct myself. Your lovely and endeared pedestal. Guys, I'm a runner of this game. I can't say, oh my god, I love ped. That's like your MO, not mine, right? Like, you know, that's a good call out from chat. Like, Plasma is also in logic with that screw attack. That's a really good call out. That is like the most unappealing check left in this game, though. Although, you know, if someone did make the god play and went there early, with pseudo screws or short charges, absolute god gamer, because they're just laughing at this seed. Like, hammer quake go mode on the mountain is like so free. So free. So definitely could happen. But has it happened? Probably not. Like, I would be extremely surprised. I don't know. We'll see if it's an ice here, but my spidey sense is drifting towards pod too. And the reason I say that is because Firefly was on pyramid and decided to say no to pod. So I think from kind of crafting a storyline, that would probably be the best place for it. It's gonna be a bad case of welp. So we'll see. Yeah, and grapple could show up for shock, but we don't have it in our inventory right now, so it's why I'm not really thinking about it. It's so late game, I'm not really thinking about those one-offs, right? And it could happen, but I don't know. Will it happen though? Probably not. Plasma to me is just gross because you absolutely could have gotten it earlier. And not here. So Farflu was generous enough to give us the advanced scout to ice. As MM2 is undoubtedly heading there next. So now becomes the question of what Farflu just elects to do. Again, I think Back at Thieves is probably the most unappealing option left out of everything we've kind of listed, along with Plasma, of course. So I think it's going to be cashing up on these. No, not going to do the flipper checks. Oh. Oh, yeah, he's going back. Okay. Okay. I was going to say, it's not really what I would want to do, but it is a thing. And MM2 doing back 3. Oh my god, I forgot this was a thing because it was so long ago. And Dark Cross is available. Remember, both our runners scoffed at Dark Cross. God. This is like ancient news, though. This is... Forgive my mistake here, chat, but... Ancient... This is old news, this area. Imagine being 2 hours in and not having done flipper checks. I mean, they got flippers like in a really bad spot. You know, with Pearl, you could break, but it's like, why, right? Okay, so just a hard piece in the Dark Cross. So nothing in Pack of Escape. God, that would have been pretty funny. Like that would be ragey if Boots were there. That'd be pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't like that. MM2, yeah, now going to ice. Maybe he does flipper checks first. Does not have the fire rod equipped yet, so kind of tells me that I don't know. Some people, yeah. So just gonna go ahead and check out Hobo here. Probably is gonna do Waterfall Azor next as well. Again, you don't really want to be doing overall checks at this point in the game, but they're kind of your better options. Oh, and there's Plasma as well, so that's a good find for MM2. So that's beam strength. So that's really good beam strength through Mother Brain. So their super count's still pretty low. They don't have enough ammo to kill off Mother Brain exclusively, so they'd have to defer to charge spacer shots. But not MM2 now. And MM2 has that sexier option, right? Of the single plasma shots, so be much better. Farflu getting an E-tank from this purple chest here. Is going to go ahead and flute to 2, cashing in this mushroom. Oh, is going to get the bad news about silvers. Unfortunate. You know, if there's salt in this game, it would probably be after Farflu sees silvers, to be honest. And only because of the video death. Mushroom, unfortunately, was quite available early on in the game, so... Yeah, just gets the couple blues, S and Qs. Let's see where you go next. Sanctuary, gonna do back 3, follow up with how MM2 kind of operated. So you're kind of seeing the runners do the same thing in just kind of a different sequence. Not surprising. Because no one really wants to go to Pod or Swamp. At this stage of the game, I don't blame them, right? You know, it's almost like your soul is telling you, you know what, maybe I should go to Swamper Pod, but I just don't want to go to Swamper Pod. Because then it's a coin flip. And you're gonna see you'll see time differentials in the run times. So if there's a lot of runners close, for example, I'm not saying that's the case here. But so you had a lot of evenly skilled people. You'd actually see it in the times, in the finish times. So you'd see a 6 to 12 minute variential or differential between those that went to the dungeon that probably had boots and the one that didn't. And you'd know exactly why. Right, so nothing in Dark Cross. What's Farflu's next play here? again, is going back over here to Village of Outcasts. So that tells me Thieves Town is on the docket for Farflu. This almost seems like a defensive play, so it's kind of a weird one, right? Like, it feels to me, it's like, God, if boots are here, I got to do this quick. But on the other hand, it's like, wait, where? Oh, okay, quick fish. Got it. It's just kind of a roundabout way to go there. Yeah, so he's gonna do quick fish in the Zora area. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, it's kind of defensive to do Thieves here, no? It would just surprise me that he would elect to do that ahead of just checking ahead. But yeah, he's gonna go ahead to cash in Zora and Graveyard. I guess he didn't do Graveyard either. Huh. Graveyard, Catfish, Zora area. Yeah, Farfelu didn't. MM2 did. MM2 went north first through the sequence break into the early Dark World. Okay, so since we kind of have some dead time as we're approaching the last kind of checks in the game, I guess we can call it. Kind of like, what have I liked? What have I not liked about the seeds so far in the runners? Oh, just disrespects the 300. The fish is tossing him like a nice wad of cash here and just does not want it. Okay, so I dislike that about Farflu. Disrespecting e-commerce by not accepting the bribe from the fish. Okay, so I don't like that. I liked Farflu's kind of rigidness to stay closer to logic in this seed. I feel like it worked out better in his circumstance. You know, I can't say anything about the death because that kind of stuff happens, right? What do I not like? I feel like his late game is kind of punching the air a little bit, where he's kind of going to some of these onesie twosie last location overroll checks when maybe he should be focusing on a pendant dungeon in his circumstance, right? Like, I feel like with the death at Biddy, I know I'm out at least 3 minutes. So to gain that back, I would probably shave a little bit of time on overroll, just kind of launch myself ahead to a pendant dungeon. Because at that point, what do I have to lose, right? For MM2s, I really liked his option to go... Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, back to Farflu. I didn't like the pyramid and cut play. I feel like that was... I don't know. I don't know what that was. Again, pyramid to pod, I felt like would have been a great play. But just going to just pyramid and then leaving felt like a weird call out to me. Anyways, for MM2, I really liked his play to North Dark World early. I thought that was pretty heads up. It's not something I would think to do, so it was pretty smooth. What I didn't like is the memes. They sucked. Please stop doing them. I get it, it's a restream, but stop. I'm one to talk to you guys because I meme on restreams all the time. MM2 getting checkerboard and Spike Cave sees nothing in either. Farflu going to the mountain. What does Farflu have left in the mountain here? No, he's done Spike Cave. Is he going back to SM? Oh, is this Croc? Oh, this is Croc. Oh, this is not good. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, so it's not really something he wants to be doing right now. But you know, he's playing the shots again. I'm a little perplexed by this option. But it is what it is. MM2 is gonna go ahead and check out, I believe, Swamp here. I don't know if he's done Bombos, so he might do Bombos to Swamp. But to me, it's telling, even if he is just doing Bombos, he would definitely do Swamp here with the time spent. So he's going to draw his line in the sand, go for Swamp. Me personally, I would pick the other dungeon, but I would, that's just me. Again, it's just preferential. While Swamp is a denser dungeon, it is significantly slower without boots. I guess that's kind of hindsight, right? Because if he finds boots in Swamp, it's not really relevant anymore, but I don't know. You can switch to MM2's audio if you like, but if he does one more meme, then I'm going to request the audio to switch back. I'll be watching carefully, very closely. For this infraction, by the way. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up my thoughts on watching this race. Like, I could be watching the other 20 or so runners as well and have some more formed opinions on routes, but you know, just seeing what I have in front of me, I feel like this is the that's the major takeaways, right? Some really good decision making, some head scratchers, but I think that happens every rando. And you know, overall, still some very good runners out of this game, right? So gets the wave beam, so almost full strength beam, missing ice for SM full beam combo. But is going to be happy with the first time being wave here. Would be happier with boots, personally, but wave beam is pretty good. Wave beam is pretty good. Farflute also also sees the screw attack. Farflute also had issues leaving LN as well, so probably similar mindset here. Like, come on, man. Like, why does this happen every time? The difficulty logic for SM today is normal mode. So yeah, it's the just the shine sparks, the wall jumps, and the infinite bomb jumps are in logic. That's it. As kind of like a as a gate, I should say. Or required tech. I think that's probably the better way to phrase it, is the required tech. Yeah, let's see if MM2 is right or wrong. This is a feels bad spot in the race, right? Like, I'm pretty sure MM2's done everything except for Back of Thieves. So for his case, it's like, okay, I gotta flip a coin here. It's either Swamp or Pod, as he parlays against left side Swamp. Does not want to touch that. It's kind of a weird call, honestly. You're in a pendant dungeon. You're one item from go. Do I just go to right to Argus, or do I try to go left? It's a weird call. Not for like what call MM2's making, just an awkward call in general to make yourself. It's really hard to process that. I think you just kind of go with the easier one, the faster items. And we're not seeing anything fruitful other than that wave beam from Swamp. We do see Farfaloo making the play for Pod, though, so we do have... I would say we do have the conclusion of the race coming up here. It's either Swamp or it's Pod, right? So one's going to one, the other one's going to the other. So MM2, while ahead, if he does not hit boots here, that's going to drastically go away. Depending on where, like, if boots are in Pod, it just depends on like how deep they are in Pod at that point. The earlier, I would say the earlier the better for MM2. Because time's relative, right? Like, if it's, like, deep in pod or if it's shorter in pod, like, Farflu's still first there. And he's skipping swamp, so... all relative. It's the same time spend you have to do. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you have at least one item left side. I would skip left side here, personally. And MMT is going to play it safe. That's okay. You do have the big chest as well, so I think it's 2 items at least. If it's 3, I feel like that's the proper play. I think 2 and under, I'm just like, see ya. Only because I know I'm at like super late game. And if I did make the wrong call, I need to kind of course correct as soon as I can. And just, you know, hope that the hope that it's in the other dungeon. And it's not in the back of Thieves. But we'll see. So this is where I thought boots were going to be. Nothing really calling out to me for that. More so just for the storyline of, you know, Farflu was so close, but so far. But generally speaking, I just kind of like the pendant pod scenario a little bit better. I also like the back of Thieves scenario too. I think in MM2's case, that'll turn into kind of a mistake. I'll call it out. Not doing full Thieves by breaking Link to the Past early. But again, that's a hindsight maneuver. It's not like something I can say like, oh yeah, you should have done this. That's too easy. But it was something I did call out earlier in the race that probably it would have been better for him to do that, just because again he's making the commitment to staying in or going to Dark World Link to the Past earlier when he had in Logic SM to do. So nothing yet from Farflu's side. So gets his required 4 small keys. Gonna be able to push further. I think he has the bridge chest still too, or he's already done that. Oh, he hasn't done it. Okay, interesting. I guess it makes sense, because then you're just looping around. All right, nothing on left side swamp. So I think direct route MM2 here is probably in towards... I think he hasn't done Quick Fish yet. Where's he? Oh. Wait, I'm going to reserve commentary until I see what he does here. He might be doing what I think he might be doing. He is doing what I think he's going to do. Oh, no. No. Resist. MM2. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's taking the warp. I'm an idiot. Never mind. I kind of thought it, but then I was like, is he actually going for plasma? But no, he's just going to use the warp again to go to Quick Fish. And there's the boots. All right, well, get owned. Oh, that's unfortunate. So Farflu has caught himself right back up in this race. Is behind by a crystal. But he has boots. So the end game is here. And every minute that MM2 spends away from pod, will not get those boots. That being said, Farflu did take the longest backwards route possible to get to those boots too. Like he did, you know, he did do the hammer jump first, which is all right. Knowing that there's gonna be no small keys in those chests, so I guess that is more item centric. But he did do 3 unnecessary chests he didn't have to do, right? So he could have maybe went right side first. Again, it's just preference. It's not a negative. It's just something that MM2 could catch up time on if he chooses to do the right side first. But yeah, MM2's gonna go ahead and do the flipper checks now and check Zora and the ledge. So I would say gonna be pretty close. Maybe pretty close. MM2 does have more beam damage though, so it does have wave with that plasma. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did see Farflu did catch plasma. He does have it. I definitely saw him use it on Croc. So, you know, the beam damage is still there. You're gonna have mostly supers for the fight anyways at that point. But MM2 can also do stand up. So it'll be an interesting finish. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close. So MM2 has one final decision left in this game. He's gonna go to Pod or he's gonna go back to Thieves. So this is gonna be where do you go? Yeah, the obvious call Pod. That's the right call. So if someone went to Pod earlier from Meridia, potential jet seat, absolutely, because after you get boots, you know, you're basically, you go to back to SM, you get your Titans, and then it spits you out to get a hammer and Quake, essentially. Like, you're not leaving that area with the items that you have. So again, so I hate to say it, guys, because it kind of makes me sound like a bit of an asshole, but I'm gonna say it. I told you so. You had the option to go to Pyramid to Pod, and you just went to Pod, and it's like, it's a question mark for me, right? Like I'm kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's indecisiveness. I don't know if it's because you saw the pendant dungeon. It's just a weird one to me, right? To spend the time to go there and then to not pick your battle. I'm gonna dip the VOD real quick. I wonder if he didn't have the rupees before I cast Judgment. Let me just backdate this a bit. Oh, he had 900 rupees. He was good. He was good. Okay. I just want to make sure, guys. I just want to make sure. I didn't want to be a dick about it. And then it was like, oh, by the way, that's why he couldn't do it, Solsky. It just makes me look like, you know. Anyways, enough about me. Go mode Stitch. Farflu did make Quick Worker Meyer, is now in Desert. So, again, if you need some kind of semblance to understand like where our runners are in the race, it's right in front of you. MM2 and Farflu are now tied for crystals, but Farflu is already in the last crystal dungeon with his go mode in hand, so Farflu is in the lead, and will remain that until at least GT. So GT will be the final essential call out, depending on like how their route style is and what their choices are and where the big key is. That's really the only last discussion point in this game. And I would argue at this point, it's probably not even a big call out anyways at this point, right? Like we're talking maybe 5-minute lead. And for that to kind of wash out, you'd have to have MM2 go to Tile Room and hit, and then Farflu do all of GT first, then Tile Room. So that's kind of where the conversation's at. You know, it is Farflu's race to lose at this point. But still a bit of game left. You never know. Still a bit of game. Things can happen. I've died again in some very extremely embarrassing circumstances. I remember Willard commentated one of my matches once for Link to the Past and says, no one dies with, you know, red mail tempered in like 16 hearts. And then I die. And then I embarrassed both of us at that point. But I mean, it's just one of those things, guys. Like anything can happen, right? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So, what is Donatello lifting? I get it. Don't answer the crystal, guys. Don't be that guy. What was above his head though? Was that him looking up? Like, I'm asking an honest question. Was it like a lettering, or was it? It says okay. All right. That's why I was making sure. Okay, MM2 going hammer jump side as well. Again, I can't hate on the play because, again, item-centric. There's no keys here. You know you have a bigger chance for items. So it makes sense. It's just... it's one of those ways you could have caught up time, right? And, you know, it's easy for me to make that call out on a bird's eye view. It's just highlighting the pain right now. Highlighting the pain. There's no number game, guys. This is SMZ3 number 1. Number 2, I'm pretty sure SG doesn't do it anymore. The meme is dead. I take full responsibility. MM2 has his boots. Still a quick seed. It's 228. It's 228 go mode with like 1 crystal left for MM2. Quick seed, honestly. Bootless, but a quick seed. Could have been much more painful. You know, it was pretty all clearsy with where the boots were, but I still want to call it yeah, as mentioned in chat and discussed before, could have been a very, very quick seed had the stars aligned. It wouldn't have been bad as a spoiler. I wouldn't like if, you know, I don't run spoilers. I've done a couple. Like, I don't run them actively is what I mean. I would really not like that boot spot in a spoiler race. It just sucks because I need them. But even if I didn't need them, I just hate where they are because they're not accessible at that point, right? So I have to go there, and they suck. They suck where they're at. I guess I would be able to chain in Eastern and Pod because Eastern didn't end up having anything required, question mark? It didn't? If I remember correctly? Yeah, it didn't. So I'd be able to chain that in with the mirror. But that's probably the only thing I would have going for me. I'd just like dip Pod, get boots, leave, complete Eastern, you know. The double glove, though, is pretty funny. Because essentially, you would have to have your hammer in Quake Go mode. Because the gloves lock it. Whereas you could have had those boots earlier. Interesting one from logic perspective, though, because of where Space Jump was in Wreck Ship. You know, giving you that, giving that full LN requirement of double suit Space Jump in normal mode logic. Plays that way. And then locking the Titans. Because fluting to Meyer to go to LN is the other, you know, logically correct way it could happen. But once again, it's kind of a call out of how the game kind of plays into a Link to the Past early spear, nearly full SM mid spear, and then the Dark World as like your final portion, right? It's generally how these games play out. Okay, we see the grapple, and still no big key for Farflu. And I want to say went full left, so did not go right side here. So MM2 on his way up. Does have an out, depending on routing preference, to catch up sometime. But I don't feel like it's going to be enough. If things stay the way that they're going to stay. Or stay the course, I should say. Oh, that was just... Alright, that was unfortunate. So, you know, I haven't personally seen that for a long time, but yeah, the helmet can get in your way and just bop you over the cliff. God, that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, chat. That was pretty good. No, don't see, don't. Okay, good. His audio was already off. His audio was already off. Good. Oh, God. I'm not even calling it any attention to it. You guys are probably like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not gonna say it, guys. I'm not giving, you know, Jester McGee over here on the right side. Eddie Oates on that one. All right, so Farflu is going right side now. Again, I don't know how MM2 routes it. He's going pure left. Leaves the option on the table for a kind of a dark magician route, if it's called that anymore, where you just do left side into right. Left side being the first 4 into right. So we'll see how this plays out. Or he could just elect to go full left. I, for one, just think the GT big situation sucks. And I would much prefer just to see the big key in a chest in the main hallway. Alright. Fireflu is not sweating it out anymore. It's not on tile room. But he basically full clear GT, unfortunately. Looking for it. MM2, on the other hand, is going DM route, so he will be getting that big key a lot sooner than Farflu has. So, again, we talked about this before. It's saving him a bunch of time here. He's caught up a lot because of this route. To the point where it's actually significantly closer. But still behind. Farflu past the mimics here. MM2 about to finish off the torch puzzle, so he's about 20-ish seconds away from that big key. So I'd say he's about a minute and a half behind at this point, based on where both our runners are right now. There's a lot of ways you can lose a minute and a half on a GT climb. So, and Ganon. And baby skip. And stand up. You know, they're both going to go iceless unless they happen to both hit the ice chest or ice beam in a chest up here on GT climb. I shouldn't talk like this is a spoiler lock race because I don't know. But they still have the option. Farflu having a little bit of difficulty here with the Lamo 2 fight. Bit of a trickier fight because the bullets that will spawn a little bit more room lag, so the rocks kind of disappear. They're still active, they just, you don't see them. It kind of sucks. But gets through it on the second phase. Meanwhile, MM2 having problems with the Gauntlet 2 area. Actually had the skeleton stay behind the BMOS. To the point where it was like basically its bodyguard and he couldn't do anything about it. So it was a little unfortunate. Getting the Lamo 2 right as Torch 2 for Farflu. So yeah, it's still about the same time. Alright, MM2 is going to catch up a little bit more time here as well. Just finishing off that Lamo 2 fight cleanly. Farflu saying no to any more chests. Saying no to any more chests. Interesting with ice not found and so many checks done. Especially since Farflu has done full GT, so I don't know if that scares him that he's done full GT and it was on right side. And he needs to save as much time as possible. Or if he's just like, you know what, I just don't want ice anyways. I don't know. You always want ice. I should say that. You always would want ice here, so we'll see if MM2 opens up any more chests. I think he will. given his position with Wave Beam as well. But I won't exactly be surprised as well if he skips any of the remaining chests. Mainly because he didn't do left side GT. But he is going to do it. Gets red rupee. Red rupee. So these chest pulls are going to put him a little bit more behind. That was a pretty good Aga fight. I think it was a 3-rounder. Gets super bunnied here. That's going to cost him some time. He gets the full heart container. So ice not found. God, there's like not that many checks left in the game for Ice Beam. Bat Fairy back at Thieves. Boot checks, yeah. Plasma Shack. Head. Not many left. Farflu dipping in for his Ganon fight as MM2 is just about to finish his climb to Aga 2. Farfelu performing a little bit of target practice here on Ganon. Little does he know that's increasing his lag. So it is making this fight slower. And the reason I call that out, for someone that didn't want to open up chests to save time, it's kind of weird to give a little bit back. MM2 starting his Ganon fight just as Farfelu is ending his. So that's, again, good depiction of where our runners are at. And we're going to see Farfelu and then eventually MM2 just kind of S and Q and reset their game. So I'll end up back on the ship. Here's a weird one. It looked like MM2 was going for like 2 shots, but fired his second arrow too early. Yeah, so I had to get the triple there. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw him draw his bowstring twice, but he just let go of the second shot too early. So when the silver arrow's on the screen, you actually can't fire a second one until first one is made contact. But he is he's done Ganon, so he's gonna be on his way as well. Gonna have a much easier time with Baby versus Farfelu here. So again, they're about a minute away, and MM2 has the opportunity to catch a lot of that time back up. He's gonna want to. Oh, he's not gonna take the refill here. Okay, I guess with like charged plasma, that's fair. But Farfelu will have a bit of a faster Mother Brain fight now with supers in hand versus MM2 using full beam. MM2 does not have plasma equipped, by the way. That is an important call out here. That's an extremely important call out. I don't... He would have put it on by now because he's doing more actions going down here. So it's not something where you'd optimally menu later on. He might have actually forgotten he has it. That's actually a big problem. There we go. He's just waiting for the elevator. Okay. And E-suits. All right, got it. Just wanted to wait for the old... This is where you do it in any percent, is on the elevator, so... It makes sense. Okay, so much like Farflu here, MM2 is going to grab all the Metroids here. Because they actually have to rely on power bombs to damage these Metroids. 3 power bombs will kill them. Traditionally, you would see, you know, in a casual run, ice and missiles, but in, you know, in these runners, you'll see like gripping them together or doing them one by one with ice and supers just to kill them quickly. They do not have the luxury of speed here because they do not have ice beam. So MM2 actually doesn't have to turn off Screw because he doesn't have Ice Beam. So he can't do Ice Skip. You'd have to do Zeb Skip with speed, which you do not need Screw Tech off for, if I recall. Okay, so Farfaloo going for the refill here. And let's see what MM do. Adding some French flair to it. MM do. That's his name for the rest of this run. Let's see what MM do decides to do. See what I did? Play on words, guys? Impressive, I know. It's good. %, MM2 is going to go for the skip here. Has to. Looking good so far. Oh, gets grabbed last second. That was unfortunate. Yeah, I was close to it. I felt like Baby was pretty close. Maybe he needed another jump to get it a little bit farther away. But he was already at the webbing, so it would have been really tough to get another jump in. That's why I like to fry that webbing, actually. Like, a lot of people hate me for it. But what that does is it allows me to salvage Baby skips a lot easier than just letting them go there. Because it's a lot harder to do it with the webbing still there, because you don't have a left movement available. So unfortunately, that's like a big time save that MM2 could have enjoyed is now gone. Actually, also refilling the missiles tells me that he's... I think he's going to go for Zeb Skip maybe once or twice, but he's not like, okay, I'm just going to do this and then we're just going to make this happen. So got the taps, so I don't... Or you got the stutter, I don't think you got the taps, yeah. He's going to go ahead and... Yeah, so he's losing Zeb Skip here. M2 did as well, or Farflu did as well, I believe. So yeah, when it comes down to it, like, we have a runner that's on phase 2 of Mother Brain. We have a runner that's just breaking glass, so... and we're already in cutscene. So, me speaking, I'm going to call it now. Farflu is going to win this race. Because there's no real point that Farflu is going to lose enough time on escape and or die. So that danger's already gone. So it's more or less determined at this point. All right, everyone, get your popcorn and your pops and clean your seats and everything like that. I'm just kidding. Stick around. All right, while this race concludes, I'll have the awkward segue to plug my invitational that's going to be happening this Saturday, starting at around 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern. Just monitor my socials, my Twitch channel for more details, and maybe some pings. Everyone likes Discord pings. They love them. Ask anyone. You ask any Discord user, guys, and they're going to tell you nothing is better than getting an everyone ping. Everyone loves it. No one hates it. No one complains. Yeah, but the Invitational is going to have some SM rando runners, some Link to the Past rando runners, and Andy and I are going to run SMZ3. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for it. Money on the line as well. Makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. Farfaloo is done. Mother Brain is in the escape sequence. Meanwhile, MM2 doing stand up here with full beam combo. Just maxing out the time on the fight. So yeah, close race, honestly though. Close race. Kind of what I expected, or at least hoped for. Pretty samey riding at the start, which is expected, right? But really kind of split wide open past that halfway mark. And it was interesting to call from there, so it was pretty fun. And as I see the finish times roll in from the other runners, Farfaloo is going to finish first on the restream. 2:49.25. Hell yeah. What is this cheats? Get out of here with this. All right, he's DQ'd, guys. He's DQ'd. God. The fast forward coming in clutch right now. Just gonna dominate MM2 to the Untitled credits. Yeah, it'd be interesting, you know, if you use like turbo and then all of a sudden like it just crashed, because you have to show the end results. So it's like, I wouldn't be a stickler for it, but like it's just funny. Tracker slagging, I can't even switch audio away. I don't want to give MM2 this satisfaction anyways. And MM2 finishing second on the restream, hell yeah. So a difference of 2:49.25 for Farfaloo and 2:50.09 for MM2. So basically that 30-second advantage. So you can come down to like a number of things that could have went each other runner's way to kind of change that differential. I wouldn't necessarily lean on the baby skip. I think I just would have made it by seconds. I don't think it would have made the difference. But still close race. Hi.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. What's going on?
Closed.
Yeah, good game. That was fun to watch, fun to call.
Yeah, so I just had time to open the restream and see MM2 in the escape. I did not expect to be this close. That's nice.
Yeah, you should have killed him by like 10 minutes. Like, I don't know, you're kind of slipping here. But your streak for second is like continuing though. I couldn't help but notice that. extremely consistent, right? Like just not quite the way you want it, but you're still performing strong lately, which is good to see.
Yeah, and I think you saw the biggest mistake I made were in Link to the Past. Maybe that's why I don't consider entering the main tournament. Um, I still feel bad about that bet against VT. Probably would have made a difference for the first place, but yeah, that was a nice seed anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, Vidi is like the hardest Link to the Past boss, I feel, pound for pound, right? So if any death in the game, that's probably the most common I see or I've experienced, right? And with the gear set you had, it's not necessarily the easiest boss either. So I wouldn't let it like get so down on you that the death happened, right? But you know, again, it's one of those things that happen. It didn't affect you that bad, right? Like I get it. It cost you a little bit of time here, probably for the first place finish overall, but still had a good run.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just a couple of minutes, maybe 2.5 on a 3 hours run. So yeah, it's not a big deal. But you know, when you do a mistake like this, you always think about that in the back of your mind. But by the way, I'm still curious why we don't have so much more finishers. I feel like with 229 and 223 items, did we all made the same mistakes, not going into pod?
I think so, right? Like I think that's just how the seed trended.
Yeah.
MMQ's in here now as well. The meme master, the claw puller, the
guy who did that swamp. Yeah, the golden shower. I wanted, once I got Spacer, I was like, oh my god, I've got the golden shower beam. What, like, I felt like I want to do a golden shower every time I get charged Spacer, but it's not every day I actually get to do it and have it be useful. So
was it though?
Yes, it was. It literally saved me missiles. Like
I guess, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I should have used golden showers on the key hunters. That actually would have been a good idea.
That's what I was like. I didn't say it, but I was kind of thinking of like, he used golden showers there. I'm surprised he's not like busting it.
Yeah.
Like, back-to-back game.
Yeah, I was just like, I was more thinking about the fact that, oh my god, I'm about to die if I don't like play it really safe. And I guess if I was like less close to death, it probably would have been a better idea, because like, if you're gonna do that, you have to kind of get close to the key hunters and risk taking a hit. But
yeah,
it's,
you both kind of were in the danger zone, as it so to speak, with the key hunters. I think Farflu ended it with like 40 energy, and you had like 10. So
yeah,
it was pretty monk-ass, right?
Yeah,
but yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about the time loss there. I worry more about the time loss on memes. You know, like that claw pull, the double claw pull.
Look. Wait, what's clawful?
I don't know. Some guy in chat was saying something about like a paw, but I was like,
oh,
it's a claw, man. Like,
what the? It is not a claw. It's a paw. Like everybody knows this.
Turtles don't have paws, man. They have claws.
Well, it's. I don't know. It looks a lot more like a paw than a claw, in my opinion. And I mean,
16-bit video game. I'll give you that, right? But I'm just saying it's clearly a turtle. Right.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's in the name, but who said turtles can't have paws?
All right. Anyways, all right. So 2 key things I want to call out, just kind of talk about, not to be like overly critical, just like kind of my food for thought. So Farflu, let's just talk to you first because you're the winner. I'll pick on you first. The decision to kind of go to Pyramid when you did, right? Like I got the kind of the break to Dark World and Pyramid and checking out Ice Rod.
Oh, yeah,
was the reason you didn't want to go to pod, was it just like seeing the pendant? Because it was kind of weird that you went all the way to Pyramid and then didn't commit.
That was just a very dumb mistake, because it's kind of rare. You are like 1 hour in and you don't even have one pair of gloves. So the main idea was to break the logic and then go to Village of Outcasts and do everything. And then on the Pyramid, I just realized, man, I don't have the hammer and gloves to do that thing. So yeah, just go back to Norfair and find something else. I was so sure it was a smart move, and then ended up not that much.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, right? Like, it didn't really affect it too bad. It would have been like the God seed, though. Like, it's hindsight, right? Like, it's easy to kind of pick these apart. But it's like boots to like hammer Quake, and you're like laughing for the last 30 minutes, and you're done like years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's hindsight, right? Like, it's a pendant dungeon. It was just kind of like, from me watching, I was kind of like, that's kind of a bit strange, right? So, but again, overall, it worked out, right? MM2, just the sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was like, yeah, if you do hammerless pod, then yeah, you just like cosmic brain the seed, probably get like a 230 something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like surprised when I was doing GT Climb that nobody was done. Like, yeah, it was like I didn't feel like I deserved to be this close to winning with like how much I cleared that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of runners fell into the same pitfall, right? Like, it's
yeah,
again, it's hindsight, right? But like, you're seeing the finish times, and they're pretty close, and they're all pretty close for the same reason, right? So
yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to do Green Pendant Pod.
Yeah, so MM2, just for yours, like, I really liked I didn't really think about it either, was the decision to take the warp and go west side, right, without that glove hammer combo. So I thought that was a pretty slick play. At the time, I didn't like not going to back thieves just because you're making that full commitment. So while it's a pendant dungeon, I know it sucks. You're just like, I kind of want to min-max my way through this. It didn't matter anyways, right? But it's just, that was like my only other thing, was like, I thought that was kind of a weird one, but
yeah,
you know,
I was definitely thinking about,
still really good.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about doing back pendant thieves when I was in there, but it's like I don't have boots, so it's kind of slow. It's only 2 items, and I also get to skip big key chest if I mirror now, so that's like another 5-10 seconds on there. And I also have like the rest of the Dark World loop. If I find something there, then that's worth. And then I also like another thing is I'm sequence breaking this now, but I have all of Norfair open to me.
Yep.
So I'll probably find something that takes me back here at some point, and I'll have another opportunity to come back here and clear it.
And that's kind of what I was going over with chat, was like, you know what, these are the options available. You do want to kind of stretch it out. Like, if you make the play to kind of stay in Dark World past Meridia and like kind of go with the tour, you kind of want to max it out. But on the other hand, you have a lot of fast item checks in Norfair, right? So that was kind of discussed, and it was getting to the point, right, like where we had visibility of like Farflu was like in Mire and in LN, and like the only thing he found was flippers in Mire, and I was just like, it was kind of like what I said, was like the worst case scenario for both our runners is they just find flippers and then they have to come back that way anyways. And if it's in like back at thieves, that's gonna like feel real bad, right? But it turned out it didn't, right? So it's just one of those things. But again, just to call it, I really did like the route, so I kind of like that, calling out. And don't feel too bad about the swamp play, because you know it's like,
oh no, it was like I was doing pod and I was like, yeah, well, I lost the coin flip, and it's how it is. If I was in this situation, I admittedly I didn't consider the fact that pod was green pendant, but I still think I would have picked swamp over pod, just mostly because of Bombos tablet. To be honest, I feel like that was the big factor. Like, I got book after I had done the Dark World tour, and if I had book at that time, I would have been able to route Bombos tablet in pretty easily. But because of how I routed, Bombos tablet was a really big one-off, and if that was something, then I could have lost it on that, and I didn't. And I wanted to cover my bases with Bombos tablet more than I wanted to commit to green pendant pod.
For sure, and I called that out too. I was like, that's probably going to draw him in, and sure enough, it did. You know what? If it was just a split choice between, like, say I didn't have Bombos as an influence and it was just swamp and pod, I'd probably pick pod, just because I know that bootless swamp is unbearable sometimes for the time spent. But when it comes down to it, like, boots could be in swamp, right? So it's like, it's kind of one of those things you just kind of shrug your shoulders over. You're like, yeah, I could have done better if I picked this one thing otherwise. But that's just how she goes, right?
It is. That's how rando goes.
All right, guys. So any final thoughts on the race?
GG's to Farflu. GG's to everybody. Thank you, Solskew, for commentating at the last moment. And then, yeah, I don't know. GG's.
Yep, pretty much the same. Thanks, Solskew, for jumping in comms at last minute. And thank you, Madwork, for tracking. GG's, everyone, and have a good night.
Thanks, guys, and not to kind of like degrade anyone else or anything like that, but I felt with the matchup, it would have been a shame if it went without commentary. So that's kind of one of the main reasons I stepped in. So again, thanks for running, guys. It was a pretty fun race to watch. It was quite interesting from the mid to late game and how the decisions were kind of flowing through and kind of helping to narrate that. But it was a lot of fun for my end. So thanks, guys.
GG.
All right, chat. That's gonna wrap it up for us. Probably other SG related content. Go watch my invitational next Saturday. Have a great night, everyone. Take care, guys. Bye.